Welcome to this practice quiz for your Canadian citizenship test. In this video, we are going to go through 370 practice questions based on the official guide called Discover Canada, the Rights and Responsibilities of Citizenship. These questions cover key topics that you need to know for the test, including Canadian history, government, rights, symbols, and more. Watch till the end, pause whenever you need, and take notes. Let's get you ready to pass that test. Good luck. Question 1. Which document tells you the date, time, and place of your citizenship ceremony? Option A. Citizenship Ceremony Invitation Letter. Option B. Certificate of Canadian Citizenship. Option C. Notice to appear to take the oath of citizenship. Option D. Notice of citizenship test scheduling. Correct answer. Option C. The notice to appear to take the oath of citizenship is the document that tells you the date, time, and place of your citizenship ceremony. Question 2. At what age are adult applicants exempt from writing the citizenship test? Option A. 50 years of age and over. Option B. 60 years of age and over. Option C. 65 years of age and over. Option D. 55 years of age and over. Correct answer. Option D. Adult applicants who are 55 years of age and over are exempt from writing the citizenship test. Question 3. What are the two basic things tested on the citizenship test? Option A. Knowledge of math and knowledge of provincial capitals. Option B. Knowledge of Canada and adequate knowledge of English or French. Option C. Knowledge of Canadian history and knowledge of the Charter. Option D. Knowledge of the Prime Minister and knowledge of official languages. Correct answer. Option B. The citizenship test evaluates two basic things: knowledge of Canada and adequate knowledge of English or French. Question 4. Which document from 1215 is referenced as a foundation of ordered liberty in Canada? Option A. English Bill of Rights. Option B. Magna Carta. Option C. Royal Proclamation of 1763. Option D. Civil Code of France. Correct answer. Option B. The Magna Carta, signed in 1215, is referenced as a foundational document of ordered liberty in Canada. Question 5. What principle ensures that no person or group is above the law in Canada? Option A. Mobility rights. Option B. Rule of law. Option C. Habeas corpus. Option D. Freedom of association. Correct answer. Option B. The rule of law is the principle that ensures no person or group is above the law in Canada. Question 6. Which year was the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms entrenched in the Constitution? Option A. 1982. Option B. 1995. Option C. 1971. Option D. 1960. Correct answer. Option A. The Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms was entrenched in the Constitution in 1982, guaranteeing fundamental rights for all Canadians. Question 7. What is one legal obligation of Canadian citizens? Option A. Joining the military. Option B. Volunteering at a food bank. Option C. Serving on a jury. Option D. Working in emergency services. Correct answer. Option C. Serving on a jury is one of the legal obligations of Canadian citizens, alongside obeying the law and filing taxes. Question 8. Which legal concept allows Canadians to challenge unlawful detention by the state? Option A. Habeas corpus. Option B. Writ of certiorari. Option C. Statute of Westminster. Option D. Magna Carta. Correct answer. Option A. Habeas corpus is the legal concept that allows Canadians to challenge unlawful detention by the state. Question 9. Under Canadian law, what is the legal status of men and women? Option A. Women have additional legal protections. Option B. They are equal under the law. Option C. Men have priority in family law. Option D. They have separate but equal rights. Correct answer. Option B. Under Canadian law, men and women are equal, a right protected by the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Question 10. What is a fundamental characteristic of Canadian heritage and identity? Option A. Multiculturalism. Option B. Constitutional monarchy only. Option C. Bilingualism only. Option D. Peace, order, and good government only. Correct answer. Option A. Multiculturalism is a fundamental characteristic of Canadian heritage and identity, reflecting the country's diverse population. Question 11. Which term refers to Canada's original constitutional document of 1867? Option A. British North America Act. Option B. Constitution Act of 1982. Option C. Canada Act of 1791. Option D. Royal Proclamation of 1763. Correct answer. Option A. The British North America Act of 1867 is Canada's original constitutional document, which created the Dominion of Canada. Question 12. What percentage of Aboriginal peoples are First Nations? Option A, 30%. Option B, 4%. Option C, 65%. Option D, 50%. Correct answer. Option C. First Nations make up approximately 65% of Canada's Aboriginal peoples, with hundreds of distinct communities across the country. Question 13. In what year did Ottawa formally apologize to former residential school students? Option A, 2008. Option B, 1999. Option C, 2015. Option D, 1980. Correct answer. Option A. In 2008, Ottawa formally apologized to former residential school students for the hardships they endured. Question 14. Which is the only officially bilingual province in Canada? Option A, Manitoba. Option B, Quebec. Option C, New Brunswick. Option D, Ontario. Correct answer. Option C. New Brunswick is the only officially bilingual province in Canada, where both English and French have equal status. Question 15. Which three groups are recognized as Canada's founding peoples? Option A, Aboriginal, French, and British. Option B, First Nations, Métis, and Inuit. Option C, Aboriginal, English, and Métis. Option D, French, British, and Inuit. Correct answer. Option A. Canada's founding peoples are recognized as Aboriginal, French, and British, whose contributions shaped the nation. Question 16. What document first guaranteed Aboriginal territorial rights in 1763? Option A, the Treaty of Paris. Option B, the Royal Proclamation. Option C, the British North America Act. Option D, the Canadian Constitution. Correct answer. Option B. The Royal Proclamation of 1763 was the first document to formally guarantee Aboriginal territorial rights in Canada. Question 17. Which year did the House of Commons recognize Quebecers as a nation within a united Canada? Option A, 2006. Option B, 1982. Option C, 2010. Option D, 1995. Correct answer, option A. In 2006, the House of Commons recognized Quebecers as a nation within a united Canada. Question 18. How many Francophones live outside Quebec in Ontario, New Brunswick, and Manitoba? Option A, 1 million. Option B, 2 million. Option C, 800,000. Option D, 7 million. Correct answer, option A. Approximately 1 million Francophones live outside Quebec, primarily in Ontario, New Brunswick, and Manitoba. Question 19. Since the 1970s, most immigrants to Canada have come from which region? Option A, European countries. Option B, African countries. Option C, South American countries. Option D, Asian countries. Correct answer, option D. Since the 1970s, most immigrants to Canada have come from Asian countries, reflecting a major shift in immigration patterns. Question 20. What is the second most spoken language at home in Vancouver and Toronto after English? Option A, French. Option B, Spanish. Option C, Chinese languages. Option D, Punjabi. Correct answer, option C. After English, Chinese languages are the second most spoken language at home in both Vancouver and Toronto. Question 21. What is the largest religious affiliation in Canada? Option A, Muslim. Option B, Jewish. Option C, Catholic. Option D, Protestant. Correct answer, option C. The largest religious affiliation in Canada is Catholic, reflecting the country's deep historical ties to French and Irish settlers. Question 22. Which Act of 1774 accommodated French civil law while maintaining British criminal law? Option A, Treaty of Paris. Option B, Quebec Act. Option C, Royal Proclamation. Option D, Constitutional Act. Correct answer, option B. The Quebec Act of 1774 accommodated French civil law while maintaining British criminal law in the colony. Question 23. Who was the governor of Quebec who defended the rights of the Canadians and supervised the Loyalist migration? Option A, Sir Guy Carleton. Option B, Count Frontenac. Option C, Jean Talon. Option D, Lord Durham. Correct answer, option A. Sir Guy Carleton, governor of Quebec, defended the rights of the Canadians and supervised the Loyalist migration to Canada. Question 24. What was the primary economic driver of the fur trade era in New France? Option A, demand for beaver pelts in Europe. Option B, trade in fish with England. Option C, sale of wheat to the Caribbean. Option D, export of timber to Britain. Correct answer, option A. The primary economic driver of the fur trade era in New France was the strong demand for beaver pelts in Europe. Question 25. Who led thousands of Loyalist Mohawk Indians into Canada? Option A, Joseph Brant. Option B, Samuel de Champlain. Option C, Pierre de Monts. Option D, John Cabot. Correct answer, option A. Joseph Brant led thousands of Loyalist Mohawk Indians into Canada following the American Revolution. Question 26. In which year did the Battle of the Plains of Abraham take place? Option A, 1534. Option B, 1759. Option C, 1608. Option D, 1690. Correct answer, option B. The Battle of the Plains of Abraham took place in 1759, marking a turning point in the struggle between France and Britain for control of North America. Question 27. What was the name of the Viking settlement found in Newfoundland? Option A, Freetown. Option B, St. Croix Island. Option C, Port Royal. Option D, Elance aux Meadows. Correct answer, option D. Elance aux Meadows, located in Newfoundland, is the site of the Viking settlement discovered in Canada. Question 28. Who was the great hero of New France who won victories over the English from James Bay to the Caribbean? Option A, Pierre Le Moyne, Sieur d'Iberville. Option B, Samuel de Champlain. Option C, Jean Talon. Option D, Count Frontenac. Correct answer, option A. Pierre Le Moyne, Sieur d'Iberville, was the great hero of New France who won victories over the English from James Bay to the Caribbean. Question 29. Which European explorer first drew a map of Canada's east coast? Option A, Samuel de Champlain. Option B, Jacques Cartier. Option C, John Cabot. Option D, Henry Hudson. Correct answer, option C. John Cabot was the European explorer who first drew a map of Canada's east coast, sailing in 1497. Question 30. How many Loyalists fled the American Revolution to settle in Nova Scotia and Quebec? Option A, nearly 10,000. Option B, over 50,000. Option C, more than 40,000. Option D, about 3,000. Correct answer, option C. More than 40,000 Loyalists fled the American Revolution to settle in Nova Scotia and Quebec, shaping early Canadian society. Question 31. Which battle marked the end of France's empire in North America? Option A, Battle of Trafalgar. Option B, Battle of Waterloo. Option C, Battle of the Plains of Abraham. Option D, Battle of the Atlantic. Correct answer, option C. The Battle of the Plains of Abraham marked the end of France's empire in North America, with British forces defeating the French in Quebec. Question 32. Which battle saw Lieutenant Colonel Charles de Salaberry turn back a larger American force? Option A, Detroit. Option B, Beaver Dams. Option C, Queenston Heights. Option D, Chateauguay. Correct answer, option D. The Battle of Chateauguay saw Lieutenant Colonel Charles de Salaberry turn back a larger American force during the War of 1812. Question 33. What was the main outcome of the War of 1812 for Canada? Option A, the border was set at the 49th parallel. Option B, the British built a new railway system. Option C, Upper and Lower Canada were united. Option D, Canada remained independent of the United States. Correct answer, option D. The main outcome of the War of 1812 for Canada was that the country remained independent of the United States, strengthening its national identity. Question 34. Who led a raid from Nova Scotia that burned down the White House in 1814? Option A, Lieutenant Colonel Charles de Salaberry. Option B, Major General Sir Isaac Brock. Option C, Major General Robert Ross. Option D, Lieutenant James Fitzgibbon. Correct answer, option C. Major General Robert Ross led a raid from Nova Scotia that resulted in the burning of the White House in 1814. Question 35. Which province was the first in the British Empire to move toward abolition of slavery? Option A, Lower Canada. Option B, New Brunswick. Option C, Upper Canada. Option D, Nova Scotia. Correct answer, option C. Upper Canada was the first province in the British Empire to move toward the abolition of slavery, under Lieutenant Governor John Graves Simcoe. Question 36. In what year did the British Parliament abolish slavery throughout the Empire? Option A, 1793. Option B, 1807. Option C, 1832. Option D, 1833. Correct answer, option D. The British Parliament abolished slavery throughout the Empire in 1833, following earlier anti-slavery efforts in the colonies. Question 37. Who was the first woman publisher in Canada founding a weekly newspaper dedicated to anti-slavery? Option A, Emily Carr. Option B, Mary Ann Shadd Cary. Option C, Laura Secord. Option D, Harriet Tubman. Correct answer, option B. Mary Ann Shadd Cary was the first woman publisher in Canada, founding a weekly newspaper dedicated to the anti-slavery cause. Question 38. How many American invaders were turned back by Lieutenant Colonel Charles de Salaberry at Chateauguay? Option A, 1000. Option B, 4000. Option C, 6000. Option D, 2000. Correct answer, option B. Lieutenant Colonel Charles de Salaberry turned back approximately 4,000 American invaders at the Battle of Chateauguay. Question 39. In what year did the first Representative Assembly in Halifax, Nova Scotia meet? Option A, 1773. Option B, 1791. Option C, 1785. Option D, 1758. Correct answer, option D. The first Representative Assembly in Halifax, Nova Scotia, met in 1758, marking an early step toward democratic government in Canada. Question 40. Who was the English reformer sent to report on the rebellions of 1837–38? Option A, James Fitzgibbon. Option B, Sir John A. Macdonald. Option C, Lord Durham. Option D, John Graves Simcoe. Correct answer, option C. Lord Durham was the English reformer sent to report on the rebellions of 1837–38, and his findings led to responsible government in Canada. Question 41. Which territory joined Canada in 1999? Option A, Nunavut. Option B, Yukon Territory. Option C, Northwest Territories. Option D, Newfoundland and Labrador. Correct answer, option A. Nunavut joined Canada in 1999, becoming the country's newest and largest territory, with a predominantly Inuit population. Question 42. Who led the Métis uprising at the Red River and seized Fort Garry? Option A, Sir Etienne Paschal Taquet. Option B, Louis Riel. Option C, Sir John A. Macdonald. Option D, Sir George Etienne Cartier. Correct answer, option B. Louis Riel led the Métis uprising at the Red River and seized Fort Garry, championing Métis rights in Western Canada. Question 43. Who became the first leader of a responsible government in the Canadas in 1849? Option A, Sir Leonard Tilley. Option B, Sir John A. Macdonald. Option C, Sir Sam Steele. Option D, Sir Louis Hippolyte Lafontaine. Correct answer, option D. Sir Louis Hippolyte Lafontaine became the first leader of a responsible government in the Canadas in 1849, a milestone in Canadian democracy? Question 44. What force was established by Macdonald in 1873 to pacify the West? Option A, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Option B, Northwest Mounted Police. Option C, Canadian Army. Option D, Dominion Police. Correct answer, option B. The Northwest Mounted Police was established by John A. Macdonald in 1873 to bring law and order to the Canadian West. Question 45. Which father of Confederation from Quebec was a key architect of Confederation and a close ally of John A. Macdonald? Option A, Sir Etienne Paschal Taquet. Option B, Sir George Etienne Cartier. Option C, Sir Leonard Tilley. Option D, Louis Riel. Correct answer, option B. Sir George Etienne Cartier was a key father of Confederation from Quebec and a close ally of John A. Macdonald in building the new nation. Question 46. What biblical phrase inspired the term Dominion of Canada? Option A city upon a hill. Option B, dominion from sea to sea. Option C, a land of milk and honey. Option D, from the river to the ends of the earth. Correct answer, option B. The term Dominion of Canada was inspired by the biblical phrase, dominion from sea to sea, found in Psalm 72. Question 47. How many provinces made up the new Dominion of Canada when it was created in 1867? Option A, 5. Option B, 3. Option C, 4. Option D, 2. Correct answer, option C. When the Dominion of Canada was created in 1867, it was made up of 4 provinces: Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick. Question 48. Who was the Métis' greatest military leader during the Resistance? Option A, Gabriel Dumont. Option B, Sir Sam Steele. Option C, Sir Arthur Currie. Option D, Louis Riel. Correct answer, option A. Gabriel Dumont was the Métis' greatest military leader during the Resistance, serving as a skilled commander under Louis Riel. Question 49. How many Canadian soldiers were killed in total during the First World War? Option A, 60,000. Option B, 170,000. Option C, 25,000. Option D, 7,000. Correct answer, option A. Approximately 60,000 Canadian soldiers were killed during the First World War, a tremendous sacrifice that shaped Canada's national identity. Question 50. What event is associated with November 7, 1885 in Canadian history? Option A, women granted the federal vote. Option B, Battle of Vimy Ridge. Option C, completion of the Canadian Pacific Railway. Option D, armistice of World War I. Correct answer, option C. On November 7, 1885, the last spike of the Canadian Pacific Railway was driven, completing the transcontinental railway that united Canada. Question 51. Who became the first woman MP in Canada in 1921? Option A, Nellie McClung. Option B, Therese Casgrain. Option C, Agnes Macphail. Option D, Emily Stowe. Correct answer, option C. Agnes Macphail became the first woman MP in Canada in 1921, breaking barriers for women in Canadian politics. Question 52. Which year did the Canadian Corps capture Vimy Ridge? Option A, 1916. Option B, 1915. Option C, 1917. Option D, 1918. Correct answer, option C. The Canadian Corps captured Vimy Ridge in 1917, a defining moment that is often seen as a symbol of Canada's coming of age as a nation. Question 53. Which province was the first to grant women the right to vote in Canada? Option A, British Columbia. Option B, Quebec. Option C, Manitoba. Option D, Ontario. Correct answer, option C. Manitoba was the first province to grant women the right to vote in Canada in 1916. Question 54. When did British Columbia join Canada? Option A, 1885. Option B, 1905. Option C, 1871. Option D, 1867. Correct answer, option C. British Columbia joined Canada in 1871, after being promised a transcontinental railway connecting it to the rest of the country. Question 55. Which poem composed by John McCree is often recited on Remembrance Day? Option A, The Soldier. Option B, In Flanders Fields. Option C, For the Fallen. Option D, Dulce et decorum est. Correct answer, option B. In Flanders Fields, composed by Lieutenant Colonel John McCree, is the poem most often recited on Remembrance Day in Canada. Question 56. What was the unemployment rate in Canada during the peak of the Great Depression? Option A, 15%. Option B, 33%. Option C, 20%. Option D, 27%. Correct answer, option D. During the peak of the Great Depression, Canada's unemployment rate reached 27%, causing widespread hardship across the country. Question 57. Which beach did Canadian troops storm and capture during the D-Day invasion? Option A, Juno Beach. Option B, Gold Beach. Option C, Omaha Beach. Option D, Sword Beach. Correct answer, option A. Canadian troops stormed and captured Juno Beach during the D-Day invasion on June 6, 1944, playing a vital role in the liberation of Europe. Question 58. On which date do Canadians observe Remembrance Day? Option A, October 11. Option B, November 11. Option C, December 11. Option D, November 8. Correct answer, option B. Canadians observe Remembrance Day on November 11 each year, honoring those who served and died in wars. Question 59. How many Canadian troops stormed Juno Beach on D-Day, June 6, 1944? Option A, 10,000. Option B, 44,000. Option C, 15,000. Option D, 130,000. Correct answer, option C. Approximately 15,000 Canadian troops stormed Juno Beach on D-Day, June 6, 1944, in one of the largest military operations in history. Question 60. What event triggered the start of the Second World War in 1939? Option A, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. Option B, Germany invaded Poland. Option C, Germany invaded France. Option D, Italy declared war on Britain. Correct answer, option B. The Second World War began in 1939 when Germany invaded Poland, prompting Canada and other allied nations to declare war. Question 61. Which group was forcibly relocated by the federal government during the Second World War? Option A, Canadians of Italian origin. Option B, Canadians of Ukrainian origin. Option C, Canadians of German origin. Option D, Canadians of Japanese origin. Correct answer, option D. Canadians of Japanese origin were forcibly relocated by the federal government during the Second World War, in a deeply regrettable chapter of Canadian history. Question 62. Under which program were over 130,000 Allied aircrew trained in Canada during the Second World War? Option A, Allied Air Training Agreement. Option B, Royal Canadian Air Force Pilot Scheme. Option C, Commonwealth Aircrew Training Program. Option D, British Commonwealth Air Training Plan. Correct answer, option D. Over 130,000 Allied aircrew were trained in Canada under the British Commonwealth Air Training Plan during the Second World War. Question 63. Which year was the Canada Health Act established? Option A, 1940. Option B, 1965. Option C, 1927. Option D, 1984. Correct answer, option D. The Canada Health Act was established in 1984, enshrining the principles of universal health care for all Canadians. Question 64. Which group of artists is known for capturing rugged wilderness landscapes? Option A, Group of Seven. Option B, Beaver Hall Group. Option C, Impressionist School. Option D, Les Automatistes. Correct answer, option A. The Group of Seven is the celebrated group of artists known for their iconic paintings capturing Canada's rugged wilderness landscapes. Question 65. When did Aboriginal people gain the right to vote in Canada? Option A, 1950. Option B, 1948. Option C, 1960. Option D, 1927. Correct answer, option C. Aboriginal people in Canada gained the right to vote in 1960, after decades of exclusion from the democratic process. Question 66. Which international organization was founded with Canadian help in 1970? Option A, La Francophonie. Option B, NORAD. Option C, the World Trade Organization. Option D, NATO. Correct answer, option A. La Francophonie, an international organization promoting French language and culture, was founded with Canadian help in 1970. Question 67. In what year was the Quebec sovereignty referendum defeated the first time? Option A, 1982. Option B, 1995. Option C, 1980. Option D, 1970. Correct answer, option C. The first Quebec sovereignty referendum was defeated in 1980, with the majority of Quebecers voting to remain part of Canada. Question 68. Which year did Canada introduce employment insurance? Option A, 1965. Option B, 1927. Option C, 1951. Option D, 1940. Correct answer, option D. Canada introduced employment insurance in 1940 as part of a broader effort to support workers during economic hardship. Question 69. Which year did Canada join with other democratic countries to form NATO? Option A, 1949. Option B, 1960. Option C, 1950. Option D, 1945. Correct answer, option A. In 1949, Canada joined with other democratic countries to form NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization? Question 70. Which artist is known for pioneering modern Inuit art with etchings and prints? Option A, Kennejuak Ashevak. Option B, Louis-Philippe Hebert. Option C, Jean-Paul Riopel. Option D, Denise Arcand. Correct answer, option A. Kennejuak Ashevak is the celebrated artist known for pioneering modern Inuit art with her distinctive etchings and prints. Question 71. In which year were all Canadian citizens over the age of 18 granted the right to vote? Option A, 1956. Option B, 1960. Option C, 1970. Option D, 1982. Correct answer, option C. In 1970, all Canadian citizens over the age of 18 were granted the right to vote in federal elections. Question 72. What invention is the Research in Motion Company best known for? Option A, Canadarm. Option B, BlackBerry. Option C, electric light bulb. Option D, cardiac pacemaker. Correct answer, option B. Research in Motion, a Canadian technology company, is best known for inventing the BlackBerry smartphone. Question 73. Which Canadian athlete lost a leg to cancer and ran the Marathon of Hope? Option A, Terry Fox. Option B, Donovan Bailey. Option C, Wayne Gretzky. Option D, Chantal Petitclerc. Correct answer, option A. Terry Fox, a Canadian athlete who lost a leg to cancer, ran the Marathon of Hope to raise money for cancer research. Question 74. Who invented the first cardiac pacemaker? Option A, Sir Frederick Banting. Option B, Dr. John A. Hopps. Option C, Dr. Wilder Penfield. Option D, Alexander Graham Bell. Correct answer, option B. Dr. John A. Hopps invented the first cardiac pacemaker, a groundbreaking Canadian contribution to modern medicine. Question 75. Which invention is credited to Matthew Evans and Henry Woodward? Option A, cardiac pacemaker. Option B, telephone. Option C, snowmobile. Option D, first electric light bulb. Correct answer, option D. The first electric light bulb is credited to Canadian inventors Matthew Evans and Henry Woodward, who patented it before Thomas Edison. Question 76. Who is known as the pioneering brain surgeon at McGill University? Option A, Reginald Fessenden. Option B, Dr. Wilder Penfield. Option C, Dr. John A. Hopps. Option D, Sir Frederick Banting. Correct answer, option B. Dr. Wilder Penfield is known as a pioneering brain surgeon who conducted groundbreaking research at McGill University. Question 77. What robotic arm did Spar Aerospace and the National Research Council invent? Option A, Canadarm. Option B, snowmobile. Option C, BlackBerry. Option D, pacemaker. Correct answer, option A. Spar Aerospace and the National Research Council invented the Canadarm, a robotic arm used on NASA's Space Shuttle program. Question 78. What title is used for members of the Ontario Provincial Legislature? Option A, Member of Provincial Parliament, MPP. Option B, Member of the Legislative Assembly, MLA. Option C, Member of the House of Assembly, MHA. Option D, Member of the National Assembly, MNA. Correct answer, option A. Members of the Ontario Provincial Legislature are referred to as members of provincial parliament or MPPs? Question 79. How is the head of state described in Canada's constitutional monarchy? Option A, the Governor-General as the permanent ruler. Option B, an elected president who serves a fixed term. Option C, a hereditary sovereign who reigns in accordance with the Constitution. Option D, the Prime Minister acting as ceremonial head. Correct answer. Option C. Canada's head of state is a hereditary sovereign who reigns in accordance with the Constitution, making Canada a constitutional monarchy. Question 80. Which level of government is responsible for highways and natural resources? Option A, provincial governments. Option B, territorial governments. Option C, federal government. Option D, municipal governments. Correct answer. Option A. Provincial governments are responsible for highways and natural resources, among other key areas of public life. Question 81. What role does the sovereign serve in relation to the Commonwealth? Option A, links Canada to 53 other nations. Option B, commands the Canadian Armed Forces. Option C, appoints the Prime Minister. Option D, represents the federal government in territories. Correct answer. Option A. The sovereign links Canada to 53 other nations through the Commonwealth, playing an important symbolic and diplomatic role. Question 82. What is the maximum age a senator may serve in Canada? Option A, 70. Option B, 80. Option C, 65. Option D, 75. Correct answer. Option D. Senators in Canada may serve until the maximum age of 75, after which they must retire. Question 83. Which official grants royal assent to a bill on behalf of the sovereign? Option A, Governor-General. Option B, Lieutenant Governor. Option C, Prime Minister. Option D, Senate Speaker. Correct answer. Option A. The Governor-General grants royal assent to bills on behalf of the sovereign, giving them the force of law in Canada. Question 84. How are senators appointed in Canada? Option A, appointed by the Governor-General on the advice of the Prime Minister. Option B, appointed by the House of Commons. Option C, elected by voters every 4 years. Option D, chosen by provincial legislatures. Correct answer. Option A. Senators in Canada are appointed by the Governor-General on the advice of the Prime Minister. Question 85. What 3 parts make up Canada's Parliament? Option A, the Sovereign, the Senate, and the House of Commons. Option B, the Prime Minister, the Senate, and the House of Commons. Option C, the Sovereign, the Cabinet, and the House of Commons. Option D, the Governor-General, the Senate, and the House of Commons. Correct answer. Option A. Canada's Parliament is made up of 3 parts: the Sovereign, the Senate, and the House of Commons. Question 86. Who selects the cabinet ministers in the federal government? Option A, the Lieutenant Governor. Option B, the Governor-General. Option C, the Prime Minister. Option D, the Sovereign. Correct answer. Option C. The Prime Minister selects cabinet ministers in the federal government, who are then responsible for running government departments. Question 87. What body appoints the Governor-General of Canada? Option A, the Sovereign on the advice of the Prime Minister. Option B, the Prime Minister alone. Option C, the Senate. Option D, the House of Commons. Correct answer. Option A. The Governor-General of Canada is appointed by the Sovereign on the advice of the Prime Minister. Question 88. Which body produces the voters' lists for federal elections and referendums? Option A, Elections Canada. Option B, the House of Commons. Option C, the Chief Electoral Office. Option D, the Governor General's Office. Correct answer, Option A. Elections Canada is the independent body that produces the voters' lists for federal elections and referendums. Question 89. What happens if the party in power holds less than half the seats in the House of Commons after an election? Option A, it must call a new election immediately. Option B, the opposition takes control of government. Option C, it forms a minority government. Option D, the Prime Minister resigns automatically. Correct answer, Option C. If the party in power holds less than half the seats in the House of Commons after an election, it forms a minority government. Question 90. How often must federal elections be held under legislation passed by Parliament? Option A, every 3 years on the third Monday of September. Option B, every 4 years on the third Monday of October. Option C, every 4 years on the second Tuesday of October. Option D, every 5 years on the first Monday of November. Correct answer, Option B. Under legislation passed by Parliament, federal elections must be held every 4 years on the third Monday of October. Question 91. Which level of government is responsible for snow removal and recycling programs? Option A, municipal local. Option B, federal. Option C, provincial. Option D, territorial. Correct answer, Option A. Municipal or local governments are responsible for services such as snow removal and recycling programs. Question 92. What must voters bring to the polling station on Election Day? Option A, voter information card and a pen. Option B, proof of identity and a witness. Option C, voter information card and a special ballot. Option D, voter information card and proof of identity and address. Correct answer, Option D. Voters must bring their voter information card and proof of identity and address to the polling station on Election Day. Question 93. How can a voter cast a ballot if they cannot vote on Election Day? Option A, at a regional office or online. Option B, by phone or through a friend. Option C, advance poll or by special ballot. Option D, by mail or by proxy. Correct answer, Option C. A voter who cannot vote on Election Day can cast a ballot at an advance poll or by special ballot. Question 94. What is the maximum penalty for impaired driving causing death in Canada? Option A, 25 years imprisonment. Option B, 10 years imprisonment. Option C, 14 years imprisonment. Option D, life imprisonment. Correct answer, Option D. The maximum penalty for impaired driving causing death in Canada is life imprisonment. Question 95. When did the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms become part of the Constitution? Option A, 1971. Option B, 1992. Option C, 1982. Option D, 1981. Correct answer, Option C. The Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms became part of the Constitution in 1982, protecting the fundamental rights of all Canadians. Question 96. What is the name of the representative of the federal government in a territory? Option A, Commissioner. Option B, Premier. Option C, Governor General. Option D, Lieutenant Governor. Correct answer, Option A. A commissioner is the representative of the federal government in a Canadian territory? Question 97. Which court is Canada's highest court for legal matters? Option A, the Federal Court of Canada. Option B, the Supreme Court of Canada. Option C, the Appeal Court of Canada. Option D, the Court of Queen's Bench. Correct answer, option B. The Supreme Court of Canada is the country's highest court for all legal matters and the final court of appeal. Question 98. In which provinces does the RCMP not serve as the provincial police force? Option A, Ontario and British Columbia. Option B, Nova Scotia and Manitoba. Option C, Quebec and Alberta. Option D, Ontario and Quebec. Correct answer, option D. The RCMP does not serve as the provincial police force in Ontario and Quebec, which have their own provincial police services. Question 99. Which symbol was adopted by the French king in the year 496 and became a symbol of French royalty? Option A, red ensign. Option B, fleur-de-lis. Option C, Union Jack. Option D, maple leaf. Correct answer, option B. The fleur-de-lis was adopted by the French king in the year 496 and became a lasting symbol of French royalty and heritage. Question 100. Who donated the Stanley Cup for hockey in 1892? Option A, the Governor General. Option B, Lord Stanley. Option C, the National Hockey League. Option D, Adrian Clarkson. Correct answer, option B. Lord Stanley donated the Stanley Cup for hockey in 1892, and it remains the oldest professional sports trophy in North America. Question 101. Which sport is recognized as Canada's official summer sport? Option A, lacrosse. Option B, curling. Option C, hockey. Option D, soccer. Correct answer, option A. Lacrosse is recognized as Canada's official summer sport, with deep roots in the traditions of Indigenous peoples. Question 102. On what coin can the beaver emblem be found? Option A, 5-cent coin. Option B, $1 coin. Option C, 25-cent coin. Option D, 10-cent coin. Correct answer, option A. The beaver emblem can be found on the 5-cent coin, reflecting the animal's historical importance to Canada's fur trade economy. Question 103. In which year was the Peace Tower completed? Option A, 1916. Option B, 1922. Option C, 1867. Option D, 1927. Correct answer, option D. The Peace Tower, a landmark of Canada's Parliament buildings in Ottawa, was completed in 1927. Question 104. Which sport is considered Canada's national winter sport? Option A, lacrosse. Option B, curling. Option C, skiing. Option D, hockey. Correct answer, option D. Hockey is considered Canada's national winter sport, deeply woven into the country's culture and identity. Question 105. What does the Latin motto, Amari usque ad mare, mean? Option A, peace and order. Option B, from sea to sea. Option C, one nation under God. Option D, the true north strong and free. Correct answer, option B. The Latin motto, Amari usque ad mare, means from sea to sea, reflecting Canada's vast geography stretching across 3 oceans. Question 106. Which year was the Victoria Cross first awarded to a Canadian? Option A, 1854. Option B, 1880. Option C, 1917. Option D, 1943. Correct answer, option A. The Victoria Cross was first awarded to a Canadian in 1854, recognizing exceptional bravery in the face of the enemy. Question 107. Who was the first Black man to be awarded the Victoria Cross? Option A, Lieutenant Alexander Roberts Dunn. Option B, Captain Paul Trike. Option C, Able Seaman William Hall. Option D, Corporal Philip Connowell. Correct answer, option C. Able Seaman William Hall was the first Black man to be awarded the Victoria Cross, earning the honor for his heroism during the Indian Rebellion of 1857. Question 108. When was O Canada proclaimed as the national anthem? Option A, 1880. Option B, 1980. Option C, 1967. Option D, 1920. Correct answer, option B. O Canada was proclaimed as the national anthem in 1980, though it had been sung by Canadians for many decades before. Question 109. On which date is Sir John A. Macdonald Day observed? Option A, January 11. Option B, April 9. Option C, January 1. Option D, November 20. Correct answer, option A. Sir John A. Macdonald Day is observed on January 11, commemorating the birthday of Canada's first Prime Minister. Question 110. On which date is Vimy Day observed? Option A, November 11. Option B, June 24. Option C, July 1. Option D, April 9. Correct answer, option D. Vimy Day is observed on April 9, marking the date of the Canadian Corps' historic capture of Vimy Ridge in 1917. Question 111. Which country is Canada's largest international trading partner? Option A, United Kingdom. Option B, Mexico. Option C, United States. Option D, Germany. Correct answer, option C. The United States is Canada's largest international trading partner, with the two countries sharing the world's largest bilateral trading relationship. Question 112. What percentage of Canadian exports are destined for the United States? Option A, nearly 2/3. Option B, exactly 1/2. Option C, over 3/4. Option D, less than 1/4. Correct answer, option C. Over 3/4 of Canadian exports are destined for the United States, highlighting the deep economic ties between the two nations. Question 113. Which ocean forms Canada's northern frontier? Option A, Arctic Ocean. Option B, Pacific Ocean. Option C, Atlantic Ocean. Option D, Indian Ocean. Correct answer, option A. The Arctic Ocean forms Canada's northern frontier, bordering the vast and remote northern territories. Question 114. How many provinces does Canada have? Option A, 11. Option B, 13. Option C, 12. Option D, 10. Correct answer, option D. Canada has 10 provinces, stretching from British Columbia in the west to Newfoundland and Labrador in the east. Question 115. Which city was chosen as Canada's capital in 1857 by Queen Victoria? Option A, Ottawa. Option B, Toronto. Option C, Kingston. Option D, Montreal. Correct answer, option A. Ottawa was chosen as Canada's capital in 1857 by Queen Victoria, strategically located on the border between Ontario and Quebec. Question 116. Which city is the capital of British Columbia? Option A, Winnipeg. Option B, Victoria. Option C, Vancouver. Option D, Regina. Correct answer, option B. Victoria is the capital city of British Columbia, located on the southern tip of Vancouver Island. Question 117. What proportion of Canada's arable land is found in Saskatchewan? Option A, 60%. Option B, 25%. Option C, 50%. Option D, 40%. Correct answer, option D. Saskatchewan contains approximately 40% of Canada's arable land, making it the heart of the country's agricultural sector. Question 118. From which territory was Nunavut created in 1999? Option A, the western part of the Northwest Territories. Option B, the District of Mackenzie. Option C, the eastern part of the Northwest Territories. Option D, the Yukon. Correct answer, option C. Nunavut was created in 1999 from the eastern part of the Northwest Territories, becoming home to a predominantly Inuit population. Question 119. What is the capital of the Northwest Territories, known as the Diamond Capital of North America? Option A, Resolute. Option B, Whitehorse. Option C, Yellowknife. Option D, Iqaluit. Correct answer, option C. Yellowknife is the capital of the Northwest Territories and is known as the Diamond Capital of North America. Question 120. In what year was Nunavut established? Option A, 1900. Option B, 1842. Option C, 1870. Option D, 1999. Correct answer, option D. Nunavut was established in 1999, becoming Canada's newest and largest territory. Question 121. What is the largest freshwater lake in the world? Option A, Lake Ontario. Option B, Lake Superior. Option C, Lake Michigan. Option D, Lake Huron. Correct answer, option B. Lake Superior is the largest freshwater lake in the world, shared between Canada and the United States. Question 122. Which province has the largest Aboriginal population of any province? Option A, Alberta. Option B, Manitoba. Option C, Saskatchewan. Option D, British Columbia. Correct answer, option B. Manitoba has the largest Aboriginal population of any province in Canada, with a rich and diverse Indigenous heritage. Question 123. Which province is home to the most extensive park system in Canada with approximately 600 provincial parks? Option A, Manitoba. Option B, Ontario. Option C, Alberta. Option D, British Columbia. Correct answer, option D. British Columbia is home to the most extensive park system in Canada, with approximately 600 provincial parks protecting its stunning natural landscapes. Question 124. What is the main financial center of Canada? Option A, Calgary. Option B, Montreal. Option C, Toronto. Option D, Vancouver. Correct answer, option C. Toronto is the main financial center of Canada and the country's largest city. Question 125. How much of all Canadian manufactured goods do Ontario and Quebec produce together? Option A, nearly half. Option B, about 1/3. Option C, more than 3/4. Option D, almost all. Correct answer, option C. Ontario and Quebec together produce more than 3/4 of all Canadian manufactured goods, forming the industrial heartland of the country. Question 126. Which of the following is a role of the police in Canada? Option A, create new laws for Parliament. Option B, provide free legal aid services. Option C, settle disputes in court. Option D, enforce the law and keep people safe. Correct answer, option D. The police in Canada play a vital role in enforcing the law and keeping people safe in their communities. Question 127. Which Canadian honors system was established in the centennial year of Confederation? Option A, Order of Canada. Option B, Victoria Cross. Option C, Canada Medal. Option D, Order of the British Empire. Correct answer, option A. The Order of Canada was established in the centennial year of Confederation, 1967, to honor outstanding Canadians. Question 128. How many distinct regions does Canada include according to the study guide? Option A, 3. Option B, 6. Option C, 5. Option D, 4. Correct answer, option C. Canada includes 5 distinct regions according to the study guide: the Atlantic provinces, Central Canada, the Prairie provinces, the West Coast, and the North. Question 129. Which province is Canada's only officially bilingual province? Option A, Newfoundland and Labrador. Option B, Nova Scotia. Option C, Quebec. Option D, New Brunswick. Correct answer, option D. New Brunswick is Canada's only officially bilingual province, where both English and French are recognized as official languages. Question 130. What is the most easterly point in North America? Option A, Quebec. Option B, Prince Edward Island. Option C, Nova Scotia. Option D, Newfoundland and Labrador. Correct answer, option D. Newfoundland and Labrador is the most easterly point in North America, jutting out into the Atlantic Ocean. Question 131. Which province is home to Canada's largest naval base in Halifax? Option A, New Brunswick. Option B, Newfoundland and Labrador. Option C, Prince Edward Island. Option D, Nova Scotia. Correct answer, option D. Nova Scotia is home to Canada's largest naval base, located in Halifax, reflecting the province's long maritime tradition. Question 132. What industry does Quebec lead Canada in due to its fresh water supply? Option A, offshore oil and gas extraction. Option B, pulp and paper manufacturing. Option C, shipbuilding and fisheries. Option D, hydroelectricity production. Correct answer, option D. Quebec leads Canada in hydroelectricity production, powered by its abundant fresh water supply and extensive river systems. Question 133. Which honor is considered the highest that Canadians can receive? Option A, the Order of Canada. Option B, the Victoria Cross. Option C, the Canadian Medal of Bravery. Option D, the Governor General's Award. Correct answer, option B. The Victoria Cross is considered the highest honor that Canadians can receive, awarded for the most exceptional acts of bravery. Question 134. Which provinces are connected by the Confederation Bridge? Option A, Newfoundland and Labrador and Prince Edward Island. Option B, New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island. Option C, New Brunswick and Nova Scotia. Option D, Nova Scotia and Prince Edward Island. Correct answer, option B. New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island are connected by the Confederation Bridge, one of the longest bridges over ice-covered waters in the world. Question 135. What is the approximate length of the Confederation Bridge? Option A, almost 15 kilometers. Option B, almost 11 kilometers. Option C, almost 13 kilometers. Option D, almost 18 kilometers. Correct answer, option C. The Confederation Bridge is almost 13 kilometers long, spanning the Northumberland Strait between New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island. Question 136. Which right is guaranteed to all Canadian citizens under the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms? Option A, the right to employment. Option B, the right to health care. Option C, the right to vote. Option D, the right to own property. Correct answer, option C. The right to vote is guaranteed to all Canadian citizens under the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Question 137. Which French ally in the fur trade were historic enemies of the Iroquois Confederation? Option A, Sioux and Inuit. Option B, Algonquin, Montagnais, and Huron. Option C, Cree and Dene. Option D, Huron-Wendat and Iroquois. Correct answer, option B. The Algonquin, Montagnais, and Huron were French allies in the fur trade and historic enemies of the Iroquois Confederation. Question 138. Which Yukon Railway opened in 1900 and now offers a tourist excursion from Skagway to Whitehorse? Option A, Great Northern Railway. Option B, Klondike Mines Railway. Option C, Canadian Pacific Railway. Option D, White Pass and Yukon Railway. Correct answer, option D. The White Pass and Yukon Railway opened in 1900 and now offers a scenic tourist excursion from Skagway to Whitehorse. Question 139. Who is Mount Logan named after? Option A, Robert W. Service, the poet of the Yukon. Option B, Sir Sanford Fleming, who designed the railway. Option C, Sir John A. Macdonald, the first Prime Minister. Option D, Sir William Logan, a geologist who founded the Geological Survey of Canada. Correct answer, option D. Mount Logan is named after Sir William Logan, the geologist who founded the Geological Survey of Canada. Question 140. What does the Remembrance Day poppy symbolize? Option A, to celebrate Confederation. Option B, to remember our sovereign, Queen Elizabeth II. Option C, to honor prime ministers who have died. Option D, to remember the sacrifice of Canadians who have served or died in wars. Correct answer, option D. The Remembrance Day poppy symbolizes the sacrifice of Canadians who have served or died in wars, inspired by the famous poem In Flanders Fields. Question 141. What year was Sir John A. Macdonald born? Option A, 1811. Option B, 1820. Option C, 1815. Option D, 1817. Correct answer, option C. Sir John A. Macdonald, Canada's first Prime Minister, was born in 1815 in Glasgow, Scotland. Question 142. Which year was the first British North American colony to achieve full responsible government? Option A, 1847-48. Option B, 1867. Option C, 1873. Option D, 1840. Correct answer. Option A. Nova Scotia became the first British North American colony to achieve full responsible government in 1847-48. Question 143. What biblical phrase specifically inspired the name Dominion of Canada? Option A, from the river unto the ends of the earth. Option B, dominion from sea to sea. Option C, the dominion of the Lord is everlasting. Option D, he shall have dominion also from sea to sea. Correct answer. Option B. The name Dominion of Canada was specifically inspired by the biblical phrase, dominion from sea to sea, taken from Psalm 72. Question 144. Which battle in Upper Canada saw British forces repel an American invasion in October 1812? Option A, Detroit. Option B, Beaver Dams. Option C, Chateauguay. Option D, Queenston Heights. Correct answer, Option D. The Battle of Queenston Heights in October 1812 saw British forces successfully repel an American invasion of Upper Canada. Question 145. Who was Sir Isaac Brock? Option A, the governor of New France during the Battle of the Plains of Abraham. Option B, the first premier of Ontario after Confederation. Option C, a Métis leader during the Red River Resistance. Option D, a British general who defended Upper Canada at Queenston Heights. Correct answer, Option D. Sir Isaac Brock was the British general who heroically defended Upper Canada at Queenston Heights, though he was killed during the battle. Question 146. What is the significance of Laura Secord in Canadian history? Option A, she led the campaign for women's suffrage in Ontario. Option B, she founded the first anti-slavery newspaper in Canada. Option C, she warned British forces of an American attack during the War of 1812. Option D, she was the first woman elected to the House of Commons. Correct answer, Option C. Laura Secord is celebrated in Canadian history for warning British forces of an American attack during the War of 1812, helping to secure a British victory. Question 147. In which year did Samuel de Champlain found Quebec City? Option A, 1620. Option B, 1663. Option C, 1608. Option D, 1534. Correct answer, Option C. Samuel de Champlain founded Quebec City in 1608, establishing one of the most enduring French settlements in North America. Question 148. Who was Jacques Cartier? Option A Métis leader who led the Red River Resistance. Option B, a British general who defeated the French at the Plains of Abraham. Option C, a French explorer who sailed into the Gulf of St. Lawrence in 1534. Option D, a governor of New France who expanded the fur trade. Correct answer, Option C. Jacques Cartier was the French explorer who sailed into the Gulf of St. Lawrence in 1534, claiming the land for France and introducing the name Canada. Question 149. What was the name of the first permanent European settlement in Canada? Option A, St. John's in Newfoundland. Option B, Quebec City on the St. Lawrence River. Option C, Montreal at the island of Montreal. Option D, Port Royal in present-day Nova Scotia. Correct answer, Option D. Port Royal in present-day Nova Scotia was the name of the first permanent European settlement in Canada, founded by the French in 1605? Question 150. Which European country established New France? Option A, Britain. Option B, Spain. Option C, Portugal. Option D, France. Correct answer, option D. France was the European country that established New France, the vast colonial territory that covered much of eastern North America. Question 151. What does the term Confederation refer to in Canadian history? Option A, the 1867 union of British colonies into the Dominion of Canada. Option B, the transfer of Rupert's Land to Canada. Option C, the signing of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Option D, the creation of responsible government in the colonies. Correct answer, option A. Confederation refers to the 1867 union of British colonies into the Dominion of Canada, a pivotal moment in the country's history. Question 152. How many Fathers of Confederation attended the conferences that led to Confederation? Option A, 48. Option B, 36. Option C, 18. Option D, 24. Correct answer, option B. A total of 36 Fathers of Confederation attended the conferences that led to Confederation, representing the colonies that would form Canada. Question 153. In which city were the main Confederation conferences held in 1864? Option A, Halifax and Fredericton. Option B, Ottawa and Montreal. Option C, Kingston and Toronto. Option D, Charlottetown and Quebec City. Correct answer, option D. The main Confederation conferences of 1864 were held in Charlottetown and Quebec City, laying the groundwork for Canada's founding. Question 154. Which province was the last to join Confederation in 1949? Option A, Manitoba. Option B, Prince Edward Island. Option C, Newfoundland and Labrador. Option D, British Columbia. Correct answer, option C. Newfoundland and Labrador was the last province to join Confederation, doing so in 1949 after a close referendum vote. Question 155. Who was Canada's first Prime Minister? Option A, Sir Wilfrid Laurier. Option B, Alexander Mackenzie. Option C, Sir John A. Macdonald. Option D, Sir George Etienne Cartier. Correct answer, option C. Sir John A. Macdonald was Canada's first Prime Minister, serving with dedication to build and unite the new country. Question 156. In what year did the Canadian Pacific Railway reach the Pacific coast, linking Canada from coast to coast? Option A, 1873. Option B, 1885. Option C, 1867. Option D, 1896. Correct answer, option B. The Canadian Pacific Railway reached the Pacific coast in 1885, linking Canada from coast to coast and fulfilling a key promise of Confederation. Question 157. Which group built much of the Canadian Pacific Railway? Option A, Indigenous peoples. Option B, Chinese laborers. Option C, Ukrainian settlers. Option D, Irish immigrants. Correct answer, option B. Chinese laborers built much of the Canadian Pacific Railway, contributing enormously to the construction of this vital national infrastructure. Question 158. Why was the Canadian Pacific Railway strategically important to Canada? Option A, it connected the Atlantic fisheries to the prairie wheat fields. Option B, it replaced the canoe routes of the fur trade era. Option C, it united the country physically and fulfilled the promise made to bring British Columbia into Confederation. Option D, it allowed the Northwest Mounted Police to patrol the border. Correct answer. Option C. The Canadian Pacific Railway was strategically important because it united the country physically and fulfilled the promise made to bring British Columbia into Confederation. Question 159. Who was Wilfrid Laurier? Option A, the first Governor-General born in Canada. Option B, a Father of Confederation from Lower Canada. Option C, Canada's first French-Canadian Prime Minister. Option D, the leader of the Métis resistance in Manitoba. Correct answer. Option C. Wilfrid Laurier was Canada's first French-Canadian Prime Minister, serving from 1896 to 1911 and overseeing a period of great national growth. Question 160. What was the Last Best West slogan used to promote? Option A, immigration to the prairie provinces in the early 1900s. Option B, British Columbia's gold rush of the 1850s. Option C, settlement of the Yukon after the Klondike Gold Rush. Option D, the building of the Canadian Pacific Railway. Correct answer. Option A. The Last Best West slogan was used to promote immigration to the prairie provinces in the early 1900s, attracting thousands of settlers from around the world. Question 161. In which year did the Klondike Gold Rush begin in the Yukon? Option A, 1858. Option B, 1885. Option C, 1900. Option D, 1896. Correct answer. Option D. The Klondike Gold Rush began in the Yukon in 1896, drawing tens of thousands of prospectors to Canada's north in search of fortune. Question 162. Which Indigenous peoples have lived in Canada's Arctic for thousands of years? Option A, Inuit. Option B, Métis. Option C, Cree. Option D, Dean. Correct answer. Option A. The Inuit are the Indigenous peoples who have lived in Canada's Arctic for thousands of years, adapting to one of the world's harshest environments. Question 163. What are the three groups that make up Canada's Aboriginal peoples? Option A, Ojibwe, Métis, and Inuit. Option B, Cree, Iroquois, and Huron. Option C, First Nations, Algonquin, and Inuit. Option D, First Nations, Métis, and Inuit. Correct answer. Option D. Canada's Aboriginal peoples are made up of three distinct groups: First Nations, Métis, and Inuit. Question 164. What were residential schools designed to do? Option A, assimilate Aboriginal children by removing them from their families and culture. Option B, prepare Aboriginal students for professional careers. Option C, provide vocational training to Aboriginal youth. Option D, teach Aboriginal children English and French alongside their own languages. Correct answer. Option A. Residential schools were designed to assimilate Aboriginal children by forcibly removing them from their families and erasing their culture and language. Question 165. Who was the first Canadian-born Governor-General? Option A, Vincent Massey. Option B, Michael Jean. Option C, David Johnston. Option D, Adrian Clarkson. Correct answer. Option A. Vincent Massey was the first Canadian-born Governor-General. Appointed in 1952, marking an important milestone in Canadian identity. Question 166. Which Canadian won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1957 for his role in resolving the Suez Crisis? Option A, John Diefenbaker. Option B, Mike Pearson. Option C, Pierre Elliott Trudeau. Option D, Lester B. Pearson. Correct answer, option D. Lester B. Pearson won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1957 for his role in resolving the Suez Crisis by proposing the creation of a United Nations peacekeeping force. Question 167. What distinctive symbol appears on the Canadian flag? Option A bison. Option B, a red maple leaf. Option C, a beaver. Option D, a fleur-de-lis. Correct answer, option B. The Canadian flag features a distinctive red maple leaf at its center, symbolizing Canada's natural beauty and national identity. Question 168. In which year was the current Canadian flag officially adopted? Option A, 1867. Option B, 1965. Option C, 1982. Option D, 1931. Correct answer, option B. The current Canadian flag was officially adopted in 1965, replacing the previous design that featured the Union Jack. Question 169. What are the two official languages of Canada? Option A, English and Michif. Option B, English and Inuktitut. Option C, English and French. Option D, French and Cree. Correct answer, option C. The two official languages of Canada are English and French, a bilingualism that reflects the country's French and British founding heritage. Question 170. Which act made Canada officially bilingual at the federal level? Option A, Quebec Act of 1774. Option B, Official Languages Act of 1969. Option C, British North America Act of 1867. Option D, Constitution Act of 1982. Correct answer, option B. The Official Languages Act of 1969 made Canada officially bilingual at the federal level, ensuring services in both English and French. Question 171. What is the capital city of Ontario? Option A, Toronto. Option B, Kingston. Option C, Hamilton. Option D, Ottawa. Correct answer, option A. Toronto is the capital city of Ontario and also Canada's largest city and main financial center. Question 172. What is the capital city of Quebec? Option A, Montreal. Option B, Quebec City. Option C, Laval. Option D, Sherbrooke. Correct answer, option B. Quebec City is the capital city of Quebec, one of the oldest cities in North America and the heart of French-Canadian culture. Question 173. What is the capital city of Alberta? Option A, Lethbridge. Option B, Red Deer. Option C, Calgary. Option D, Edmonton. Correct answer, option D. Edmonton is the capital city of Alberta, a province known for its vast oil sands and the iconic Calgary Stampede. Question 174. What is the capital city of Manitoba? Option A, Portage-la Prairie. Option B, Thompson. Option C, Winnipeg. Option D, Brandon. Correct answer, option C. Winnipeg is the capital city of Manitoba, located at the geographic heart of Canada. Question 175. What is the capital city of Saskatchewan? Option A, Regina. Option B, Saskatoon. Option C, Moose Jaw. Option D, Prince Albert. Correct answer, option A. Regina is the capital city of Saskatchewan, a province famous for its flat prairies and agricultural production. Question 176. What is the capital city of Nova Scotia? Option A, Halifax. Option B, Truro. Option C, Dartmouth. Option D, Sydney. Correct answer, option A. Halifax is the capital city of Nova Scotia and is home to Canada's largest naval base on the Atlantic coast. Question 177. What is the capital city of New Brunswick? Option A, Moncton. Option B, Fredericton. Option C, Bathurst. Option D, St. John. Correct answer, option B. Fredericton is the capital city of New Brunswick, Canada's only officially bilingual province. Question 178. What is the capital city of Prince Edward Island? Option A, Montague. Option B, Charlottetown. Option C, Summerside. Option D, Stratford. Correct answer, option B. Charlottetown is the capital city of Prince Edward Island and is known as the birthplace of Confederation. Question 179. What is the capital city of Newfoundland and Labrador? Option A, Corner Brook. Option B, Grand Falls, Windsor. Option C, Gander. Option D, St. John's. Correct answer, option D. St. John's is the capital city of Newfoundland and Labrador and is one of the oldest cities in North America. Question 180. What is the capital of Nunavut? Option A, Resolute. Option B, Cambridge Bay. Option C, Iqaluit. Option D, Rankin Inlet. Correct answer, option C. Iqaluit is the capital of Nunavut, the vast territory created in 1999 that is home to a predominantly Inuit population. Question 181. What is the capital of the Yukon? Option A, Whitehorse. Option B, Haines Junction. Option C, Dawson City. Option D, Watson Lake. Correct answer, option A. Whitehorse is the capital of the Yukon, a territory famous for the Klondike Gold Rush and its stunning wilderness. Question 182. How many territories does Canada have? Option A, 4. Option B, 2. Option C, 3. Option D, 1. Correct answer, option C. Canada has 3 territories: Yukon, Northwest Territories, and Nunavut, each governed differently from the country's 10 provinces. Question 183. What is Canada's second largest country in the world ranked by? Option A, economic output. Option B, military strength. Option C, total geographic area. Option D, population. Correct answer, option C. Canada is ranked as the second largest country in the world by total geographic area, covering nearly 10 million square kilometers. Question 184. Which ocean borders Canada on the west? Option A, Indian Ocean. Option B, Arctic Ocean. Option C, Atlantic Ocean. Option D, Pacific Ocean. Correct answer, option D. The Pacific Ocean borders Canada on the west, along the stunning coastline of British Columbia. Question 185. Which ocean borders Canada on the east? Option A, Arctic Ocean. Option B, Atlantic Ocean. Option C, Pacific Ocean. Option D, Hudson Bay. Correct answer, option B. The Atlantic Ocean borders Canada on the east, stretching along provinces like Newfoundland and Labrador, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and Prince Edward Island. Question 186. What is the significance of the 49th parallel in Canadian geography? Option A, it separates northern and southern Ontario. Option B, it forms much of the border between Canada and the United States. Option C, it marks the boundary between the Prairie Provinces. Option D, it is the latitude of Canada's capital city. Correct answer. Option B. The 49th parallel forms much of the border between Canada and the United States, stretching across the prairies from the Great Lakes to the Pacific Ocean. Question 187. What does RCMP stand for? Option A, Royal Canadian Military Police. Option B, Royal Canadian Maritime Patrol. Option C, Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Option D, Royal Commonwealth Mounted Police. Correct answer. Option C. RCMP stands for Royal Canadian Mounted Police, one of Canada's most iconic national symbols recognized around the world. Question 188. What is the primary role of the Senate in Canada's Parliament? Option A, to represent provincial governments at the federal level. Option B, to appoint the Governor General. Option C, to review and revise legislation passed by the House of Commons. Option D, to elect the Prime Minister. Correct answer. Option C. The primary role of the Senate in Canada's Parliament is to review and revise legislation passed by the House of Commons, acting as a chamber of sober second thought. Question 189. How many members are in the House of Commons? Option A, 265. Option B, 338. Option C, 350. Option D, 308. Correct answer, Option B. The House of Commons is made up of 338 members, each representing an electoral district across Canada. Question 190. How are members of the House of Commons chosen? Option A, chosen by provincial legislatures. Option B, elected by party members only. Option C, elected by voters in their local constituency. Option D, appointed by the Prime Minister. Correct answer. Option C. Members of the House of Commons are chosen by voters in their local constituency through a general election. Question 191. What is the term for the party with the second largest number of seats in the House of Commons? Option A, Minority Party. Option B, Shadow Cabinet. Option C, Official Opposition. Option D, Reform Party. Correct answer, Option C. The party with the second largest number of seats in the House of Commons is called the Official Opposition, whose role is to hold the government accountable. Question 192. What is a riding in Canadian politics? Option A session of Parliament. Option B, an electoral district represented by one MP. Option C, a provincial boundary. Option D, a vote of non-confidence. Correct answer, Option B. A riding in Canadian politics is an electoral district represented by one member of Parliament. Question 193. Who is the head of government in Canada? Option A, the Prime Minister. Option B, the Sovereign. Option C, the Governor General. Option D, the Speaker of the House. Correct answer, Option A. The Prime Minister is the head of government in Canada, leading the cabinet and directing national policy. Question 194. What is the role of the Speaker of the House of Commons? Option A, to maintain order and oversee debates. Option B, To introduce new legislation. Option C. To advise the Governor General. Option D. To represent the government in the Senate. Correct answer. Option A. The Speaker of the House of Commons is responsible for maintaining order and overseeing debates in the chamber. Question 195. Which document outlines the division of powers between the federal and provincial governments? Option A, the Canada Health Act. Option B, the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Option C, the Constitution Act of 1867. Option D, the Official Languages Act. Correct answer. Option C. The Constitution Act of 1867 outlines the division of powers between the federal and provincial governments in Canada. Question 196. What power does the federal government have that provincial governments do not? Option A, highways and local works. Option B, education and health care. Option C, property and civil rights. Option D, criminal law and national defense. Correct answer. Option D. The federal government holds powers that provincial governments do not, including authority over criminal law and national defense. Question 197. Which level of government is responsible for education in Canada? Option A, provincial governments. Option B, federal government. Option C, territorial governments. Option D, municipal governments. Correct answer. Option A. Education in Canada is the responsibility of provincial governments, which is why school systems can vary across the country. Question 198. What are the fundamental freedoms protected by the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms? Option A, freedom of education, language, culture, and travel. Option B, freedom of movement, property, employment, and religion. Option C, freedom of speech, press, religion, and voting. Option D, freedom of conscience, expression, peaceful assembly, and association. Correct answer. Option D. The Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms protects fundamental freedoms including freedom of conscience, expression, peaceful assembly, and association. Question 199. What is the notwithstanding clause in the Canadian Charter? Option A clause that guarantees bilingualism across all provinces. Option B, a clause that limits the power of the Supreme Court. Option C, a clause that allows Parliament or provincial legislatures to override certain charter rights. Option D, a clause that protects Aboriginal rights from federal interference. Correct answer. Option C. The notwithstanding clause in the Canadian Charter allows Parliament or provincial legislatures to override certain charter rights in limited circumstances. Question 200. What is the significance of August 4, 1914 in Canadian history? Option A, Canada declared war on Germany independently for the first time. Option B, the Battle of Vimy Ridge began. Option C, Britain declared war on Germany, automatically bringing Canada into the First World War. Option D, the Canadian Expeditionary Force landed in France. Correct answer. Option C. On August 4, 1914, Britain declared war on Germany, which automatically brought Canada into the First World War as a member of the British Empire. Question 201. Which Canadian city hosted the 1976 Summer Olympics? Option A, Vancouver. Option B, Montreal. Option C, Ottawa. Option D, Toronto. Correct answer, Option B. Montreal hosted the 1976 Summer Olympics, becoming the first Canadian city to host the Summer Games. Question 202. Which Canadian city hosted the 2010 Winter Olympics? Option A, Vancouver. Option B, Ottawa. Option C, Toronto. Option D, Calgary. Correct answer. Option A. Vancouver hosted the 2010 Winter Olympics, a celebrated event that brought the world to Canada's Pacific coast. Question 203. Which city hosted the 1988 Winter Olympics in Canada? Option A, Calgary. Option B, Winnipeg. Option C, Vancouver. Option D, Edmonton. Correct answer. Option A. Calgary hosted the 1988 Winter Olympics, making it the first Canadian city to host the Winter Games. Question 204. What is the population of Canada approximately? Option A, 58 million. Option B, 28 million. Option C, 48 million. Option D, 38 million. Correct answer. Option D. Canada's population is approximately 38 million people, making it one of the largest countries in the world by area relative to its population. Question 205. Which province is the most populous in Canada? Option A, Alberta. Option B, Quebec. Option C, Ontario. Option D, British Columbia. Correct answer. Option C. Ontario is the most populous province in Canada, home to the country's largest city, Toronto. Question 206. Which province is the second most populous in Canada? Option A, British Columbia. Option B, Quebec. Option C, Manitoba. Option D, Alberta. Correct answer. Option B. Quebec is the second most populous province in Canada and the cultural heartland of French Canada. Question 207. What body of water separates Prince Edward Island from the mainland? Option A, Northumberland Strait. Option B, Strait of Georgia. Option C, Hudson Strait. Option D, Cabot Strait. Correct answer. Option A. The Northumberland Strait is the body of water that separates Prince Edward Island from the Canadian mainland. Question 208. What is Canada's national sport in winter officially called? Option A, ice hockey. Option B, hockey. Option C, lacrosse. Option D, curling. Correct answer. Option A. Canada's national winter sport is officially called ice hockey, a game deeply woven into the country's culture and identity. Question 209. Who are the Métis? Option A, descendants of French settlers in Acadia. Option B, people of mixed European and Aboriginal ancestry. Option C, First Nations peoples of the Plains. Option D, Aboriginal peoples of the Arctic. Correct answer. Option B. The Métis are people of mixed European and Aboriginal ancestry, forming one of Canada's 3 recognized Aboriginal peoples. Question 210. What was the Red River Resistance of 1869-70? Option A, a political protest against the building of the Canadian Pacific Railway. Option B, a farmers' revolt in the Prairie Provinces. Option C, a Métis uprising led by Louis Riel against Canadian annexation of the Northwest. Option D, a First Nations rebellion against the Northwest Mounted Police. Correct answer. Option C. The Red River Resistance of 1869-70 was a Métis uprising led by Louis Riel against the Canadian government's annexation of the Northwest. Question 211. Which province was created partly as a result of the Red River Resistance? Option A, Ontario. Option B, Manitoba. Option C, Alberta. Option D, Saskatchewan. Correct answer, option B. Manitoba was created partly as a result of the Red River Resistance, joining Confederation in 1870 following negotiations led by Louis Riel. Question 212. Who was Gabriel Dumont? Option A, the first Métis Member of Parliament. Option B, a Métis negotiator at the Charlottetown Conference. Option C, the Métis military leader during the Northwest Resistance of 1885. Option D, the leader of the Métis at the Red River Resistance. Correct answer, option C. Gabriel Dumont was the skilled Métis military leader who commanded forces during the Northwest Resistance of 1885. Question 213. In what year was Louis Riel executed? Option A, 1890. Option B, 1885. Option C, 1879. Option D, 1870. Correct answer, option B. Louis Riel was executed in 1885 following his conviction for treason, making him a controversial and deeply significant figure in Canadian history. Question 214. What was the Northwest Resistance of 1885? Option A military uprising in the Yukon during the Klondike Gold Rush. Option B, a Métis and First Nations uprising in Saskatchewan led by Louis Riel and Gabriel Dumont. Option C, a Métis protest in Alberta against land survey policies. Option D, a First Nations rebellion in Manitoba against the Canadian Pacific Railway. Correct answer, option B. The Northwest Resistance of 1885 was a Métis and First Nations uprising in Saskatchewan led by Louis Riel and Gabriel Dumont to defend their land rights. Question 215. What was the conscription crisis of 1917? Option A dispute between Quebec and Ottawa over language rights. Option B, a controversy over the internment of Ukrainian Canadians. Option C, a debate in Parliament over the Canada Health Act. Option D, a political conflict over whether to force Canadians to serve in the First World War. Correct answer, option D. The conscription crisis of 1917 was a deeply divisive political conflict over whether to force Canadians to serve in the First World War, creating a major rift between English and French Canada. Question 216. Which Canadian Prime Minister introduced the War Measures Act during the October Crisis of 1970? Option A, Lester B. Pearson. Option B, Pierre Elliott Trudeau. Option C, John Diefenbaker. Option D, Louis Saint Laurent. Correct answer, option B. Prime Minister Pierre Elliott Trudeau invoked the War Measures Act during the October Crisis of 1970 in response to terrorist activity by the FLQ. Question 217. What was the FLQ? Option A nationalist movement that supported conscription in the Second World War. Option B, a political party that advocated for Quebec sovereignty in the 1980s. Option C, a federal task force that investigated language rights in Quebec. Option D, a Quebec separatist group that used violence during the October Crisis of 1970. Correct answer, option D. The FLQ was a Quebec separatist group that used violence, including kidnapping and murder, during the October Crisis of 1970. Question 218. Which Canadian Prime Minister patriated the Constitution and introduced the Charter of Rights and Freedoms? Option A, Jean Chrétien. Option B, Lester B. Pearson. Option C, Brian Mulroney. Option D, Pierre Elliott Trudeau. Correct answer. Option D. Prime Minister Pierre Elliott Trudeau patriated the Constitution and introduced the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms in 1982. Question 219. What does responsible government mean in Canadian politics? Option A, the Governor-General can reject laws passed by Parliament. Option B, the Prime Minister is chosen directly by voters in a national election. Option C, the Cabinet must have the support of the elected legislature to stay in power. Option D, provincial premiers must approve all federal legislation. Correct answer. Option C. Responsible government in Canadian politics means that the Cabinet must maintain the support of the elected legislature to remain in power. Question 220. Who was Alexander Graham Bell in Canadian history? Option A, the Canadian who invented insulin. Option B, the inventor of the telephone who did much of his work in Canada. Option C, the first commissioner of the Northwest Territories. Option D, the founder of the Northwest Mounted Police. Correct answer. Option B. Alexander Graham Bell, the inventor of the telephone, conducted much of his groundbreaking work in Canada, particularly in Brantford, Ontario. Question 221. Who discovered insulin? Option A, Sir Frederick Banting and Charles Best. Option B, Dr. John A. Hops and Dr. Wilder Penfield. Option C, Alexander Graham Bell and Thomas Edison. Option D, Reginald Fessenden and Matthew Evans. Correct answer. Option A. Sir Frederick Banting and Charles Best discovered insulin in 1921, a life-saving breakthrough that transformed the treatment of diabetes worldwide. Question 222. What is the significance of November 11, 1918 in Canadian history? Option A, Canada declared war on Germany independently. Option B, the last Canadian soldiers returned home from Europe. Option C, the Battle of Vimy Ridge was won by the Canadian Corps. Option D, the armistice ending the First World War was signed. Correct answer. Option D. November 11, 1918, marks the signing of the armistice that ended the First World War and is commemorated as Remembrance Day in Canada. Question 223. Which Canadian military achievement is often called Canada's greatest victory in the First World War? Option A, the Battle of the Somme in 1916. Option B, the Battle of Passchendaele in 1917. Option C, the Second Battle of Ypres in 1915. Option D, the capture of Vimy Ridge in April 1917. Correct answer. Option D. The capture of Vimy Ridge in April 1917 is often called Canada's greatest military victory in the First World War, a moment that shaped Canada's national identity. Question 224. What happened at the Second Battle of Ypres in 1915? Option A, Canadian soldiers stormed the beaches of Normandy. Option B, Canada suffered its worst losses of the entire war. Option C, Canadian troops faced the first large-scale use of poison gas in the war. Option D, Canadian forces captured Vimy Ridge from the Germans. Correct answer. Option C. At the Second Battle of Ypres in 1915, Canadian troops heroically faced the first large-scale use of poison gas in warfare. Question 225. Which Canadian general commanded the Canadian Corps at Vimy Ridge? Option A, Sir Arthur Currie. Option B, Sir Robert Borden. Option C, Sir Sam Hughes. Option D, Sir Julian Byng. Correct answer. Option A. Sir Arthur Currie was the Canadian general who commanded the Canadian Corps at Vimy Ridge, leading them to a historic and celebrated victory. Question 226. What was the Statute of Westminster in 1931? Option A trade agreement between Canada and the United Kingdom. Option B, a British law that gave Canada and other dominions full legal independence. Option C, an act that created the position of Governor-General. Option D, a constitutional amendment that added the Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Correct answer, option B. The Statute of Westminster in 1930. One was a British law that granted Canada and other dominions full legal independence from Britain. Question 227. Which Canadian Prime Minister served the longest in office? Option A, Wilfrid Laurier. Option B, Lyon Mackenzie King. Option C, Pierre Elliott Trudeau. Option D, Sir John A. Macdonald. Correct answer, option B. William Lyon Mackenzie King served as Canada's longest-serving Prime Minister, holding office for a total of nearly 22 years. Question 228. What is equalization in Canadian fiscal policy? Option A, federal payments to less wealthy provinces to ensure comparable public services. Option B, a program that distributes immigration equally among provinces. Option C, a system of equal taxation across all provinces. Option D, a policy that equalizes wages across provincial borders. Correct answer, option A. Equalization in Canadian fiscal policy refers to federal payments made to less wealthy provinces to ensure all Canadians have access to comparable public services. Question 229. Which act defines the responsibilities of the federal and provincial governments for health care? Option A, Federal Provincial Fiscal Arrangements Act. Option B, Social Union Framework Agreement. Option C, Constitution Act of 1867. Option D, Canada Health Act. Correct answer, option D. The Canada Health Act defines the responsibilities of the federal and provincial governments for health care, establishing the principles of universal coverage. Question 230. What is the role of the Auditor General of Canada? Option A, to oversee elections and ensure they are conducted fairly. Option B, to investigate complaints against federal government employees. Option C, to approve the federal budget before Parliament votes on it. Option D, to audit and report on how the government manages public money. Correct answer, option D. The Auditor General of Canada is responsible for auditing and reporting on how the government manages public money, ensuring accountability and transparency. Question 231. What does the term Crown Corporation mean? Option A corporation registered under the Canada Business Corporations Act. Option B, a company that holds a royal warrant to supply goods to the monarchy. Option C, a foreign company licensed to operate in Canada. Option D, a government-owned company that operates like a private business. Correct answer, option D. A Crown Corporation is a government-owned company that operates similarly to a private business, providing important public services across Canada. Question 232. Which provinces make up the Atlantic region of Canada? Option A, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Quebec, and Prince Edward Island. Option B, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and Newfoundland and Labrador. Option C, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Newfoundland, and Manitoba. Option D, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, Newfoundland, and Ontario. Correct answer, Option B. The Atlantic region of Canada is made up of 4 provinces: Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and Newfoundland and Labrador. Question 233. Which provinces make up the Prairie region of Canada? Option A, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and British Columbia. Option B, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Ontario. Option C, Manitoba, Alberta, and British Columbia. Option D, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. Correct answer, option D. The Prairie region of Canada consists of 3 provinces: Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta, known for their vast agricultural lands and energy resources. Question 234. What is the significance of the Canadian Shield? Option A natural boundary separating the prairies from the boreal forest. Option B, a vast area of ancient rock covering much of central Canada, rich in minerals. Option C, the defensive fortifications built around Quebec City by the French. Option D, a series of forts constructed along the St. Lawrence River. Correct answer, option B. The Canadian Shield is a vast area of ancient rock covering much of central Canada, rich in minerals, and one of the world's largest geological formations. Question 235. Which Canadian invention transformed wireless communication in 1900? Option A, John A. Hobbs's cardiac pacemaker. Option B, Alexander Graham Bell's telephone. Option C, Reginald Fessenden's transmission of the human voice by radio waves. Option D, Spar Aerospace's Canadarm. Correct answer, option C. In 1900, Reginald Fessenden transformed wireless communication with his pioneering transmission of the human voice using radio waves. Question 236. What is the name of the agreement between Canada, the United States, and Mexico on trade? Option A, General Agreement on Tariffs and Trade. Option B, North American Free Trade Agreement, NAFTA. Option C, Canada-United States-Mexico Agreement, CUSMA. Option D, Trans-Pacific Partnership. Correct answer, option C. The trade agreement between Canada, the United States, and Mexico is known as the Canada-United States-Mexico Agreement, or CUSMA. Question 237. Which city is the capital of Nova Scotia and also home to Canada's largest naval base? Option A, Dartmouth. Option B, Sydney. Option C, Halifax. Option D, Truro. Correct answer, option C. Halifax is the capital city of Nova Scotia and is home to Canada's largest naval base on the Atlantic coast. Question 238. What is the Bay of Fundy known for? Option A, having the highest tides in the world. Option B, separating Nova Scotia from Prince Edward Island. Option C, being the location of the Confederation Bridge. Option D, being the site of the first European settlement in Canada. Correct answer, option A. The Bay of Fundy, located between Nova Scotia and New Brunswick, is famous for having the highest tides in the world. Question 239. How is the right to vote described in the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms? Option A, it is a mobility right that applies to citizens and residents equally. Option B, it is a legal right that can be suspended during a national emergency. Option C, it is a democratic right guaranteed to every Canadian citizen. Option D, it is a fundamental freedom extended to all permanent residents. Correct answer, option C. The right to vote is described in the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms as a democratic right guaranteed to every Canadian citizen. Question 240. What does a Member of Parliament (MP) do? Option A. Manages the day-to-day operations of the federal government. Option B. Appoints judges to the Supreme Court of Canada. Option C. Advises the Governor-General on constitutional matters. Option D. Represents the people of their electoral district in the House of Commons. Correct answer. Option D. A Member of Parliament represents the people of their electoral district in the House of Commons, voicing the concerns and interests of their constituents. Question 241. What is the role of the opposition in Parliament? Option A. To confirm Supreme Court justices nominated by the Cabinet. Option B. To hold the government accountable and propose alternative policies. Option C. To manage the Senate's legislative schedule. Option D. To approve the Governor-General's appointments. Correct answer. Option B. The role of the opposition in Parliament is to hold the government accountable and propose alternative policies, ensuring robust democratic debate. Question 242. Which Canadian city is known as the Gateway to the West? Option A. Calgary. Option B. Edmonton. Option C. Saskatoon. Option D. Winnipeg. Correct answer. Option D. Winnipeg is known as the Gateway to the West, reflecting its historic role as a crossroads city at the heart of Canada. Question 243. What is the national policy associated with Sir John A. Macdonald? Option A. A policy of protective tariffs, railway building, and Western settlement. Option B. A program of social welfare and unemployment insurance. Option C. A plan to build the Trans-Canada Highway. Option D. A policy of official bilingualism and multiculturalism. Correct answer. Option A. The national policy associated with Sir John A. Macdonald was a strategy of protective tariffs, railway building, and Western settlement designed to strengthen and unite the new nation. Question 244. Which Canadian Prime Minister introduced Medicare at the federal level? Option A. Tommy Douglas. Option B. John Diefenbaker. Option C. Lester B. Pearson. Option D. Pierre Elliott Trudeau. Correct answer. Option C. Prime Minister Lester B. Pearson introduced Medicare at the federal level, expanding universal health care to all Canadians. Question 245. Who is often called the father of Medicare in Canada? Option A. Lester B. Pearson. Option B. Tommy Douglas. Option C. Pierre Elliott Trudeau. Option D. John Diefenbaker. Correct answer. Option B. Tommy Douglas is often called the father of Medicare in Canada for pioneering universal health care as Premier of Saskatchewan. Question 246. In which province was Medicare first introduced in Canada? Option A. British Columbia. Option B. Ontario. Option C. Manitoba. Option D. Saskatchewan. Correct answer. Option D. Medicare was first introduced in Canada in Saskatchewan, under Premier Tommy Douglas, in 1962. Question 247. What is habeas corpus, and why is it important in Canada? Option A document that grants Canadian citizenship to permanent residents. Option B. A constitutional principle that prevents double jeopardy in criminal cases. Option C. A court order that transfers a case from a lower court to a higher court. Option D. A legal right that prevents the state from holding a person in custody without just cause. Correct answer. Option D. Habeas corpus is a fundamental legal right in Canada that prevents the state from holding a person in custody without just cause, protecting individual liberty. Question 248. Which Canadian was the first woman to run for federal office, though she could not yet vote? Option A, Emily Murphy. Option B, Harriet Dick. Option C, Therese Casgrain. Option D, Agnes Macphail. Correct answer, option B. Harriet Dick was the first Canadian woman to run for federal office, doing so at a time when women did not yet have the right to vote. Question 249. What is the War of 1812 best described as? Option A war between Canada and the United States over border disputes. Option B, a series of battles between French and British forces in North America. Option C, a British invasion of the American colonies that Canada supported. Option D, a conflict between the United States and Britain in which Canadians defended their territory. Correct answer, option D. The War of 1812 is best described as a conflict between the United States and Britain in which Canadians successfully defended their territory from invasion. Question 250. Who were the United Empire Loyalists? Option A, French colonists who moved from Quebec to Nova Scotia after the conquest. Option B, American colonists who remained loyal to the British Crown and settled in Canada after the American Revolution. Option C, British soldiers who settled in Canada after the 7 Years' War. Option D, Indigenous peoples who allied with the British during the War of 1812. Correct answer, option B. The United Empire Loyalists were American colonists who remained loyal to the British Crown and settled in Canada after the American Revolution, shaping early Canadian society. Question 251. What is the two solitudes concept in Canadian culture? Option A, the social gap between urban and rural communities in Canada. Option B, the cultural and linguistic divide between English and French Canada. Option C, the political divide between Eastern and Western Canada. Option D, the geographic separation of Northern and Southern Canada. Correct answer, option B. The two solitudes concept in Canadian culture describes the cultural and linguistic divide between English and French Canada. Question 252. Which Canadian author wrote the novel Anne of Green Gables? Option A, Carol Shields. Option B, Alice Munro. Option C, Lucy Maud Montgomery. Option D, Margaret Atwood. Correct answer, option C. Lucy Maud Montgomery wrote the beloved novel Anne of Green Gables, set in Prince Edward Island and cherished by readers around the world. Question 253. Who was Emily Carr? Option A poet who wrote in Flanders Fields during the First World War. Option B, a Canadian artist known for her paintings of Indigenous peoples and the forests of British Columbia. Option C, a pioneer of modern dance who founded the National Ballet of Canada. Option D, a suffragist who campaigned for women's right to vote in Ontario. Correct answer, option B. Emily Carr was a celebrated Canadian artist known for her vivid paintings of Indigenous peoples and the towering forests of British Columbia. Question 254. What is the Canadian Football League, CFL, known for playing? Option A, rugby union on outdoor fields across Canada. Option B, lacrosse, Canada's official summer sport. Option C, Canadian football, which differs from American football in several rules. Option D, ice hockey at the professional level. Correct answer, option C. The Canadian Football League is known for playing Canadian football, which differs from American football in several key rules, including field size and the number of downs. Question 255. What does NORAD stand for? Option A, Northern American Operations and Reconnaissance Division. Option B, North American Regional Air Defense. Option C, North American Aerospace Defense Command. Option D, National Operational Response and Air Defense. Correct answer. Option C. NORAD stands for North American Aerospace Defense Command, the Joint Canada, U.S. organization that defends North American airspace. Question 256. What is the purpose of NORAD? Option A NATO alliance command that oversees Canadian troops in Europe. Option B, a Canadian agency that monitors Arctic sovereignty. Option C, the Joint Canada, U.S. command that defends North American airspace. Option D, a bilateral agreement to share intelligence between Canada and the U.S. Correct answer. Option C. The purpose of NORAD is to provide the Joint Canada, U.S. command responsible for defending North American airspace against aerospace threats. Question 257. Which explorer claimed Canada for England by landing on the East Coast in 1497? Option A, Francis Drake. Option B, Martin Frobisher. Option C, Henry Hudson. Option D, John Cabot. Correct answer, Option D. John Cabot claimed Canada for England by landing on the East Coast in 1497, opening the door to British exploration and settlement of North America. Question 258. What is the name of the Indigenous Peoples Self-Governing Territory created in 1999? Option A, Nunavut. Option B, Denendeh. Option C, Turtle Island. Option D, Nunavik. Correct answer, Option A. Nunavut is the name of the Indigenous Peoples Self-Governing Territory created in 1999, home to a predominantly Inuit population. Question 259. What does the term multiculturalism mean in the Canadian context? Option A requirement that all immigrants learn both official languages. Option B, a policy that recognizes and celebrates the cultural diversity of all Canadians. Option C, a system that grants special rights to historically disadvantaged groups. Option D, a law that requires bilingual services in all provincial governments. Correct answer, Option B. Multiculturalism in the Canadian context is a policy that recognizes and celebrates the cultural diversity of all Canadians, making it a defining feature of national identity. Question 260. Which act formally recognized multiculturalism as a fundamental characteristic of Canadian society? Option A, Canadian Multiculturalism Act of 1988. Option B, Official Languages Act of 1969. Option C, Constitution Act of 1867. Option D, Charter of Rights and Freedoms of 1982. Correct answer, Option A. The Canadian Multiculturalism Act of 1988 formally recognized multiculturalism as a fundamental characteristic of Canadian society. Question 261. What was the Underground Railroad? Option A covert British military supply route during the War of 1812. Option B, a rail line connecting the southern United States to the Canadian border. Option C, a series of tunnels built under American cities to move goods north. Option D, a secret network that helped enslaved Black Americans escape to freedom in Canada. Correct answer, Option D. The Underground Railroad was a secret network that helped thousands of enslaved Black Americans escape to freedom in Canada before the abolition of slavery. Question 262. What is the meaning of the term civil law as used in Quebec? Option A set of rules governing the relationship between citizens and the government. Option B, a system of unwritten laws based on court decisions and legal traditions. Option C, a legal system based on a comprehensive written code of private law derived from French law. Option D, a body of law that deals with criminal offenses and their punishment. Correct answer. Option C. Civil law in Quebec refers to a legal system based on a comprehensive written code of private law derived from French legal traditions. Question 263. Which province uses civil law rather than common law for private legal matters? Option A, New Brunswick. Option B, Nova Scotia. Option C, Ontario. Option D, Quebec. Correct answer, Option D. Quebec is the only province in Canada that uses civil law rather than common law for private legal matters. Question 264. What is the role of the lieutenant governor in a province? Option A, the representative of the sovereign who performs ceremonial and constitutional duties. Option B, the speaker of the provincial legislature who maintains order in debates. Option C, the chief justice of the provincial court who oversees the judiciary. Option D, the head of the provincial cabinet who sets government policy. Correct answer. Option A. The lieutenant governor in a province serves as the representative of the sovereign, performing important ceremonial and constitutional duties. Question 265. How does a bill become law in Canada? Option A. It passes through the House of Commons and is automatically approved by the Senate. Option B. It is introduced by the Governor-General and voted on by the House of Commons. Option C. It must pass 3 readings in both the House of Commons and Senate, then receive royal assent. Option D. It must be approved by the Prime Minister, Cabinet, and Governor-General only. Correct answer. Option C. For a bill to become law in Canada, it must pass 3 readings in both the House of Commons and the Senate before receiving royal assent. Question 266. What are minority rights in the Canadian context? Option A, entitlements reserved for immigrants who arrive as refugees. Option B, legal protections that ensure smaller cultural, linguistic, or religious groups can maintain their identity. Option C, special voting rights granted to groups that make up less than 10% of the population. Option D, rights given exclusively to First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples. Correct answer. Option B. Minority rights in the Canadian context are legal protections that ensure smaller cultural, linguistic, or religious groups can maintain their distinct identity. Question 267. What is the significance of the Royal Proclamation of 1763? Option A. It recognized Aboriginal peoples' land rights and set out a process for treaty making. Option B. It granted representative government to the colonies of British North America. Option C. It divided Canada into Upper and Lower Canada for administrative purposes. Option D. It established New France as a British colony under the Quebec Act. Correct answer, Option A. The Royal Proclamation of 1763 was significant because it recognized Aboriginal peoples' land rights and established a process for treaty making between the Crown and Indigenous peoples. Question 268. Which Prime Minister introduced the Official Languages Act in 1969? Option A, Pierre Elliott Trudeau. Option B, Lester B. Pearson. Option C, John Diefenbaker. Option D, Louis Saint Laurent. Correct answer, option A. Pierre Elliott Trudeau introduced the Official Languages Act in 1969, making Canada officially bilingual at the federal level. Question 269. What does the term bicameral mean in relation to Canada's Parliament? Option A, the Prime Minister and Governor-General share legislative authority equally. Option B, two political parties dominate Parliament at all times. Option C, Parliament alternates between English and French as the language of debate. Option D, Parliament has two chambers, the elected House of Commons and the appointed Senate. Correct answer, option D. The term bicameral means that Canada's Parliament has two chambers, the elected House of Commons and the appointed Senate. Question 270. What is the purpose of the Senate as a body of sober second thought? Option A, to review, revise, and propose amendments to legislation with less political pressure than elected MPs face. Option B, to represent the interests of the provinces in the federal government. Option C, to provide a check on the power of the Prime Minister and Cabinet. Option D, to confirm appointments made by the Governor-General on the advice of the Prime Minister. Correct answer, option A. The Senate serves as a body of sober second thought, reviewing, revising, and proposing amendments to legislation with less political pressure than elected MPs face. Question 271. How many senators are there in the Canadian Senate? Option A, 120. Option B, 90. Option C, 105. Option D, 75. Correct answer, option C. There are 105 senators in the Canadian Senate, appointed to represent regions across the country. Question 272. Which Canadian document guarantees Aboriginal and treaty rights? Option A, the Royal Proclamation of 1763. Option B, Section 35 of the Constitution Act, 1982. Option C, the Indian Act of 1876. Option D, the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Correct answer, option B. Section 35 of the Constitution Act, 1982, is the Canadian document that guarantees Aboriginal and treaty rights. Question 273. What is the Indian Act? Option A treaty signed between the Crown and First Nations peoples in the 19th century. Option B, federal legislation that has governed the lives of First Nations people in Canada since 1876. Option C, a section of the Constitution Act that guarantees Aboriginal land rights. Option D, a provincial law that regulates relations between settlers and Indigenous communities. Correct answer, option B. The Indian Act is federal legislation that has governed the lives of First Nations people in Canada since 1876, shaping their communities in profound and often damaging ways. Question 274. Which Canadian was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature? Option A, Margaret Atwood. Option B, Michael Ondaat. Option C, Robertson Davies. Option D, Alice Munro. Correct answer, option D. Alice Munro was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature, becoming the first Canadian woman and the first Canadian-based author to receive this prestigious honor. Question 275. What was the Quiet Revolution in Quebec? Option A series of constitutional conferences that led to the Meech Lake Accord. Option B, a peaceful negotiation between Quebec and the federal government over language rights. Option C, a referendum campaign for Quebec independence held in 1980. Option D, A period of rapid social and political change in Quebec during the 1960s that reduced the church's influence? Correct answer, option D. The Quiet Revolution was a period of rapid social and political change in Quebec during the 1960s that significantly reduced the influence of the Catholic Church in public life. Question 276. Which two referendums were held in Quebec on the question of sovereignty? Option A, 1980 and 1995. Option B, 1988 and 1995. Option C, 1982 and 1995. Option D, 1970 and 1980. Correct answer, option A. Two referendums were held in Quebec on the question of sovereignty in 1980 and 1995, both of which were ultimately defeated. Question 277. By what margin was the 1995 Quebec sovereignty referendum defeated? Option A, less than 1 percentage point. Option B, nearly 10 percentage points. Option C, by more than 15 percentage points. Option D, about 5 percentage points. Correct answer, option A. The 1995 Quebec sovereignty referendum was defeated by less than 1 percentage point, making it one of the closest votes in Canadian history. Question 278. What is the notwithstanding clause commonly known as? Option A, Section 35 of the Constitution Act 1982. Option B, Section 91 of the Constitution Act 1867. Option C, Section 33 of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Option D, Section 15 of the Canadian Bill of Rights. Correct answer, option C. The notwithstanding clause is commonly known as Section 33 of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Question 279. What does presumption of innocence mean in Canadian law? Option A police officer must have a warrant before arresting a suspected criminal. Option B, a court cannot convict a person based solely on a confession obtained under pressure. Option C, a person accused of a crime is considered innocent until proven guilty in court. Option D, a judge may not sentence a person without a recommendation from the jury. Correct answer, option C. Presumption of innocence in Canadian law means that a person accused of a crime is considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Question 280. What does it mean to be a Canadian citizen? Option A, to have lived in Canada for more than 5 years. Option B, to speak one of the 2 official languages fluently. Option C, to share in the rights and responsibilities that come with belonging to Canada. Option D, to have been born on Canadian soil. Correct answer, option C. Being a Canadian citizen means sharing in the rights and responsibilities that come with belonging to Canada, including participation in the democratic process. Question 281. What is one responsibility unique to Canadian citizens that permanent residents do not have? Option A, the right to apply for a Canadian passport. Option B, the right and responsibility to vote in federal, provincial, and territorial elections. Option C, the right to receive social benefits from the government. Option D, the right to live and work anywhere in Canada. Correct answer, option B. One responsibility, unique to Canadian citizens, that permanent residents do not have is the right and responsibility to vote in federal, provincial, and territorial elections. Question 282. Which Indigenous peoples are traditionally associated with the Pacific Northwest coast of British Columbia? Option A, Cree, Ojibwe, and Anishinaabe. Option B, Haida, Tlingit, and Tsimshian. Option C, Blackfoot, Blood, and Pagan. Option D, Mohawk, Oneida, and Seneca. Correct answer, option B. The Haida, Tlingit, and Tsimshian are among the indigenous peoples traditionally associated with the Pacific Northwest coast of British Columbia. Question 283. What is the Iroquois Confederacy also known as? Option A, the Anishinaabe Confederacy. Option B, the Haudenosaunee or Six Nations. Option C, the Great Plains Alliance. Option D, the Algonquin League. Correct answer, option B. The Iroquois Confederacy is also known as the Haudenosaunee or Six Nations, one of the most sophisticated indigenous political systems in North American history. Question 284. Which country did Canada fight alongside during both World Wars? Option A, Japan and Italy. Option B, Russia and China. Option C, Germany and the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Option D, Britain, France, and eventually the United States. Correct answer, option D. Canada fought alongside Britain, France, and eventually the United States during both World Wars, demonstrating its enduring commitment to international alliances. Question 285. How long must a permanent resident typically live in Canada before applying for citizenship? Option A, 4 out of 6 years. Option B, 3 out of 5 years. Option C, 5 consecutive years. Option D, 2 out of 4 years. Correct answer, option B. A permanent resident typically must live in Canada for 3 out of 5 years before becoming eligible to apply for citizenship. Question 286. What happens at a citizenship ceremony? Option A, applicants receive their permanent resident card. Option B, applicants submit their final language test results. Option C, applicants are interviewed by a citizenship judge. Option D, applicants take the oath of citizenship and receive their certificate. Correct answer, option D. At a citizenship ceremony, applicants take the oath of citizenship and receive their certificate, marking their official welcome as new Canadians. Question 287. What is the oath of citizenship? Option A commitment to learn both official languages within 5 years. Option B, a legal agreement to obey Canadian laws and pay taxes. Option C, a promise of loyalty to the sovereign and Canada made at the citizenship ceremony. Option D, a declaration that the applicant has met all residency requirements. Correct answer, option C. The oath of citizenship is a solemn promise of loyalty to the sovereign and Canada, made publicly at the citizenship ceremony. Question 288. Which Canadian province is the largest by area? Option A, Alberta. Option B, British Columbia. Option C, Ontario. Option D, Quebec. Correct answer, option D. Quebec is the largest Canadian province by area, covering over 1.5 million square kilometers and nearly a fifth of Canada's total landmass. Question 289. Which Canadian province is the smallest by area? Option A, New Brunswick. Option B, Prince Edward Island. Option C, Nova Scotia. Option D, Newfoundland and Labrador. Correct answer, option B. Prince Edward Island is the smallest Canadian province by area, a compact and scenic island on the Atlantic coast. Question 290. What is due process of law in the Canadian context? Option A court order that compels a witness to appear and give testimony. Option B, A legal principle that prevents the police from conducting searches without warrants. Option C, the right of a convicted person to appeal their sentence. Option D, the requirement that the government follow fair legal procedures when dealing with citizens. Correct answer. Option D. Due process of law in the Canadian context means that the government must follow fair legal procedures when dealing with citizens, protecting individuals from arbitrary state action. Question 291. Which Canadian city is the largest by population? Option A, Toronto. Option B, Ottawa. Option C, Montreal. Option D, Vancouver. Correct answer. Option A. Toronto is Canada's largest city by population and serves as the country's main financial and commercial hub. Question 292. What is the role of the Chief Electoral Officer? Option A, to certify election results to the Governor General. Option B, to oversee the conduct of federal elections and referendums impartially. Option C, to appoint senators on the advice of the Prime Minister. Option D, to administer the Supreme Court of Canada's docket. Correct answer. Option B. The Chief Electoral Officer oversees the conduct of federal elections and referendums impartially, ensuring that Canada's democratic processes are fair and transparent. Question 293. What is meant by the term parliamentary democracy? Option A system where citizens elect representatives to make laws and hold government accountable. Option B, a government where all major decisions are made by referendum. Option C, a political system where a monarch holds supreme executive authority. Option D, a system where the head of state is elected directly by the people. Correct answer. Option A. A parliamentary democracy is a system where citizens elect representatives to make laws and hold the government accountable on their behalf. Question 294. Which Canadian Prime Minister is associated with the phrase, "Just watch me during the October crisis"? Option A, Jean Chrétien. Option B, Brian Mulroney. Option C, Lester B. Pearson. Option D, Pierre Elliott Trudeau. Correct answer. Option D. Prime Minister Pierre Elliott Trudeau is associated with the famous phrase, "Just watch me," spoken during the October crisis of 1970 when asked how far he would go to restore order. Question 295. What are treaty rights in Canada? Option A, rights held by First Nations peoples based on agreements signed between their ancestors and the Crown. Option B, special rights given to Métis and Inuit communities under federal legislation. Option C, entitlements provided to Indigenous peoples under the Indian Act of 1876. Option D, rights granted to all Aboriginal peoples by the Constitution Act of 1982. Correct answer, Option A. Treaty rights in Canada are rights held by First Nations peoples based on agreements signed between their ancestors and the Crown, covering land, resources, and other entitlements. Question 296. Who were the famous five? Option A, 5 Canadian women who successfully argued that women are persons under the law in 1929. Option B, 5 suffragists who founded the first women's political party in Canada. Option C, the 5 Fathers of Confederation from Ontario and Quebec. Option D, 5 Canadian military heroes awarded the Victoria Cross in the First World War. Correct answer. Option A. The famous 5 were 5 Canadian women who successfully argued in 1929 that women are legally persons under the law, opening the door to women's full participation in public life. Question 297. In which year did the Persons Case establish that women are legally persons in Canada? Option A, 1929. Option B, 1935. Option C, 1921. Option D, 1917. Correct answer. Option A. The Persons Case in 1929 established that women are legally persons in Canada, a landmark ruling in the history of women's rights. Question 298. What is the significance of the Manitoba Schools question in Canadian history? Option A. It was a political crisis over the rights of French-speaking Catholics to publicly funded education in Manitoba. Option B. It was a legal dispute over whether Indigenous children had to attend residential schools. Option C. It was a debate in Parliament over the creation of the province of Manitoba. Option D. It was a conflict between Manitoba and the federal government over bilingualism requirements. Correct answer. Option A. The Manitoba Schools question was a significant political crisis over the rights of French-speaking Catholics to publicly funded education in Manitoba, testing the limits of Confederation. Question 299. Which Canadian is credited with developing the process for long-distance radio communication? Option A, Reginald Fessenden. Option B, John A. Hopps. Option C, Alexander Graham Bell. Option D, Frederick Banting. Correct answer. Option A. Reginald Fessenden is the Canadian credited with developing the process for long-distance radio communication, pioneering a technology that transformed global communications. Question 300. What are the three founding peoples of Canada? Option A, Inuit, First Nations, and European explorers. Option B, Acadian, Loyalist, and Métis. Option C, English, French, and American. Option D, Aboriginal, French, and British. Correct answer, Option D. The three founding peoples of Canada are Aboriginal, French, and British, whose distinct contributions shape the country's history, culture, and identity. Question 301. What does the word Inuit mean in Inuktitut? Option A, the Northerners. Option B, the people. Option C, the hunters. Option D, the wise ones. Correct answer, Option B. The word Inuit means the people in Inuktitut, reflecting the deep cultural identity of Canada's Arctic Indigenous peoples. Question 302. What percentage of Aboriginal peoples in Canada are First Nations? Option A, 50%. Option B, 30%. Option C, 4%. Option D, 65%. Correct answer, Option D. First Nations make up approximately 65% of Canada's Aboriginal peoples, representing hundreds of distinct communities and cultures across the country. Question 303. What percentage of Aboriginal peoples in Canada are Métis? Option A, 65%. Option B, 30%. Option C, 4%. Option D, 25%. Correct answer, Option B. The Métis make up approximately 30% of Canada's Aboriginal peoples, a people with a unique heritage blending European and Indigenous cultures. Question 304. What percentage of Aboriginal peoples in Canada are Inuit? Option A, 65%. Option B, 30%. Option C, 4%. Option D, 15%. Correct answer, Option C. Inuit make up approximately 4% of Canada's Aboriginal peoples, living primarily in the vast northern regions of the country. Question 305. Which Aboriginal group speaks the dialect known as Michif? Option A, the Inuit. Option B, the First Nations. Option C, the Acadians. Option D, the Métis. Correct answer, option D. The Métis are the Aboriginal group that speaks the dialect known as Michif, a unique language that blends Cree and French. Question 306. What term came into use in the 1970s to refer to Aboriginal people who are not Inuit or Métis? Option A, Native Canadians. Option B, Indian. Option C, Aboriginal Canadians. Option D, First Nations. Correct answer, option D. The term First Nations came into use in the 1970s to refer to Aboriginal people in Canada who are not Inuit or Métis. Question 307. Which royal proclamation first recognized Aboriginal territorial rights in 1763? Option A, the Constitutional Act. Option B, the Royal Proclamation of 1791. Option C, the Royal Proclamation of 1763. Option D, the Quebec Act. Correct answer, option C. The Royal Proclamation of 1763 was the royal document that first formally recognized Aboriginal territorial rights in Canada. Question 308. What event in Acadian history is known as the Great Upheaval? Option A, the resettlement of Acadians in Louisiana after 1763. Option B, the deportation of more than two-thirds of Acadians between 1755 and 1763. Option C, the expulsion of British colonists from Acadia in 1713. Option D, the migration of French settlers to the Maritimes in 1604. Correct answer, option B. The Great Upheaval refers to the tragic deportation of more than two-thirds of Acadians between 1755 and 1763, scattering their communities across North America. Question 309. Which province is the only officially bilingual province in Canada? Option A, Ontario. Option B, New Brunswick. Option C, Quebec. Option D, Manitoba. Correct answer, option B. New Brunswick is the only officially bilingual province in Canada, reflecting its deep roots in both English and French Canadian heritage. Question 310. In what year did the House of Commons recognize that the Québécois form a nation within a united Canada? Option A, 2006. Option B, 1982. Option C, 1995. Option D, 2000. Correct answer, option A. In 2006, the House of Commons recognized that the Québécois form a nation within a united Canada, acknowledging the distinct identity of Quebec's people. Question 311. What did the federal government place many Aboriginal children in from the 1800s until the 1980s? Option A, day schools. Option B, trade schools. Option C, residential schools. Option D, mission schools. Correct answer, option C. From the 1800s until the 1980s, the federal government placed many Aboriginal children in residential schools, separating them from their families and cultures. Question 312. In what year did Ottawa formally apologize to former students of residential schools? Option A, 2010. Option B, 2008. Option C, 2006. Option D, 1998. Correct answer, option B. In 2008, Ottawa formally apologized to former students of residential schools, acknowledging the lasting harm caused by this deeply troubling chapter in Canadian history. Question 313. What phrase from Canada's original constitutional document of 1867 reflects its commitment to governance? Option A, liberty, equality, and fraternity. Option B, justice, equality, and peace. Option C, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Option D, peace, order, and good government. Correct answer. Option D. Canada's original constitutional document of 1867 reflects the country's commitment to governance through the phrase peace, order, and good government. Question 314. Which explorer built a fortress at what is now Quebec City in 1608? Option A, Pierre de Monts. Option B, Pierre Le Moyne d'Iberville. Option C, Jacques Cartier. Option D, Samuel de Champlain. Correct answer, option D. Samuel de Champlain built a fortress at what is now Quebec City in 1608, establishing one of the most important French settlements in North America. Question 315. What did Jacques Cartier's captured guides call the Iroquoian word for village that became the name Canada? Option A, Tadoussac. Option B, Canada. Option C, Hochelaga. Option D, Stadacona. Correct answer, option B. Jacques Cartier's captured guides used the Iroquoian word Kanata, meaning village, which eventually became the name Canada. Question 316. Who was the great hero of New France who won victories from James Bay to the Caribbean? Option A, Pierre Le Moyne, Sieur d'Iberville. Option B, Jean Talon. Option C, Count Frontenac. Option D, Samuel de Champlain. Correct answer, option A. Pierre Le Moyne, Sieur d'Iberville, was the great hero of New France who won remarkable military victories, stretching from James Bay to the Caribbean. Question 317. What reply did Count Frontenac give when asked to surrender Quebec to the English in 1690? Option A, I will defend this colony to the last man. Option B, we shall treat for peace under fair terms. Option C, my only reply will be from the mouths of my cannons. Option D, the English may take this fort but not our faith. Correct answer, option C. When asked to surrender Quebec to the English in 1690, Count Frontenac defiantly replied that his only reply would come from the mouths of his cannons. Question 318. Which act of 1774 restored French civil law while maintaining British criminal law? Option A, the Constitutional Act. Option B, the British North America Act. Option C, the Quebec Act. Option D, the Royal Proclamation. Correct answer, option C. The Quebec Act of 1774 restored French civil law in the colony while maintaining British criminal law, a significant accommodation of French-Canadian rights. Question 319. Which act divided the province of Quebec into Upper Canada and Lower Canada? Option A, the British North America Act of 1867. Option B, the Act of Union 1840. Option C, the Quebec Act of 1774. Option D, the Constitutional Act of 1791. Correct answer, option D. The Constitutional Act of 1790, 1, divided the province of Quebec into Upper Canada and Lower Canada, each with its own elected assembly. Question 320. What was Upper Canada later known as? Option A, Ontario. Option B, Nova Scotia. Option C, New Brunswick. Option D, Quebec. Correct answer, option A. Upper Canada was later known as Ontario. becoming one of the founding provinces of the Dominion of Canada in 1867. Question 321. Who was the first Lieutenant Governor of Upper Canada and founder of the City of York? Option A, Sir Guy Carleton. Option B, Lord Durham. Option C, John Graves Simcoe. Option D, Sir Isaac Brock. Correct answer, option C. John Graves Simcoe was the first Lieutenant Governor of Upper Canada and the founder of the City of York, which later became Toronto. Question 322. Which colony was the first in the British Empire to move toward abolition of slavery? Option A, Upper Canada. Option B, Lower Canada. Option C, New Brunswick. Option D, Nova Scotia. Correct answer, option A. Upper Canada was the first colony in the British Empire to move toward the abolition of slavery, under Lieutenant Governor John Graves Simcoe. Question 323. What network helped thousands of escaped slaves reach Canada from the United States? Option A, the Loyalist Corridor. Option B, the North Star Trail. Option C, the Fugitive Passage. Option D, the Underground Railroad. Correct answer, option D. The Underground Railroad was the secret network that helped thousands of escaped slaves reach freedom in Canada from the United States. Question 324. Who was the first woman publisher in Canada? Option A, Mary Ann Shadd Cary. Option B, Nellie McClung. Option C, Laura Secord. Option D, Harriet Tubman. Correct answer, option A. Mary Ann Shadd Cary was the first woman publisher in Canada, breaking significant barriers as both a journalist and an anti-slavery activist. Question 325. What was the name of the newspaper founded by Mary Ann Shadd Cary? Option A, The Globe. Option B, the Upper Canada Gazette. Option C, the Colonial Advocate. Option D, the Provincial Freeman. Correct answer, option D. Mary Ann Shadd Cary founded the Provincial Freeman, a weekly newspaper dedicated to advocating for the rights of Black Canadians and opposing slavery. Question 326. Who was the key architect of Confederation from Quebec? Option A, Sir Eddie N. Paschal Tash. Option B, Lord Durham. Option C, Sir George Etienne Cartier. Option D, Sir John A. Macdonald. Correct answer, option C. Sir George Etienne Cartier was the key architect of Confederation from Quebec, working closely with Sir John A. Macdonald to build the new nation. Question 327. Who suggested the term Dominion of Canada in 1864? Option A, Gabriel Dumont. Option B, Sir Leonard Tilley. Option C, Sir Sam Steele. Option D, Sir John A. Macdonald. Correct answer, option B. Sir Leonard Tilley suggested the term Dominion of Canada in 1864, drawing inspiration from a biblical passage to give the new nation its name. Question 328. Which biblical text inspired Sir Leonard Tilley to suggest the name Dominion of Canada? Option A, Psalm 72. Option B, the Book of Genesis. Option C, Psalm 22. Option D, the Book of Isaiah. Correct answer, option A. Sir Leonard Tilley was inspired by Psalm 72 in the Bible when he suggested the name Dominion of Canada. Question 329. Who was the first Prime Minister of Canada? Option A, Sir John Alexander Macdonald. Option B, Sir George Etienne Cartier. Option C, Sir Wilfrid Laurier. Option D, Sir Leonard Tilley. Correct answer, option A. Sir John Alexander Macdonald was the first Prime Minister of Canada, playing a central role in Confederation and the building of the Transcontinental Railway. Question 330. Which Métis leader is considered a father of Manitoba? Option A, Louis Riel. Option B, Joseph Howe. Option C, Gabriel Dumont. Option D, John A. Macdonald. Correct answer, option A. Louis Riel is considered a father of Manitoba for his role in negotiating the province's entry into Confederation following the Red River Resistance. Question 331. Which colony first achieved full responsible government in British North America? Option A, Nova Scotia. Option B, Canada East. Option C, Prince Edward Island. Option D, New Brunswick. Correct answer, option A. Nova Scotia was the first colony in British North America to achieve full responsible government, leading the way for democratic reform across the country. Question 332. Who became the first leader of a responsible government in the province of Canada? Option A, Joseph Howe. Option B, Sir John A. Macdonald. Option C, Lord Elgin. Option D, La Fontaine. Correct answer, option D. La Fontaine became the first leader of a responsible government in the province of Canada, a milestone in the country's democratic development. Question 333. In what year did Prince Edward Island join Confederation? Option A, 1871. Option B, 1905. Option C, 1867. Option D, 1873. Correct answer, option D. Prince Edward Island joined Confederation in 1873, becoming the 7th province of Canada after being promised a railway link to the mainland. Question 334. In what year did British Columbia join Canada? Option A, 1873. Option B, 1885. Option C, 1905. Option D, 1871. Correct answer, option D. British Columbia joined Canada in 1871, after the federal government promised to build a transcontinental railway connecting it to the rest of the country. Question 335. In what year was Nunavut established as a separate territory? Option A, 1870. Option B, 1949. Option C, 1999. Option D, 1993. Correct answer, option C. Nunavut was established as a separate territory in 1999, carved out of the eastern portion of the Northwest Territories. Question 336. What does the word Nunavut mean in Inuktitut? Option A, Northern Land. Option B, Great Land. Option C, New Land. Option D, Our Land. Correct answer, option D. The word Nunavut means our land in Inuktitut, reflecting the deep connection of the Inuit people to their Arctic homeland. Question 337. Who was Canada's longest-serving Prime Minister? Option A, William Lyon Mackenzie King. Option B, Sir Wilfrid Laurier. Option C, Sir John A. Macdonald. Option D, Pierre Elliott Trudeau. Correct answer, option A. William Lyon Mackenzie King was Canada's longest-serving Prime Minister, leading the country through some of its most challenging times, including the Second World War. Question 338. Sir Wilfrid Laurier was Canada's first Prime Minister from which background? Option A, Acadian. Option B, Medes. Option C, French Canadian. Option D, British Canadian. Correct answer, option C. Sir Wilfrid Laurier was Canada's first Prime Minister from a French-Canadian background, serving from 1896 to 1911 and overseeing a period of great national growth. Question 339. What was the nickname given to the more than 3,000 Canadian nurses who served in the First World War? Option A, Bluebirds. Option B, Angels of Mercy. Option C, Ribbons of Steel. Option D, Shock Troops. Correct answer, option A. More than 3,000 Canadian nurses who served in the First World War were affectionately nicknamed Bluebirds, named after their distinctive blue and white uniforms. Question 340. Which province was the first to grant voting rights to women in Canada? Option A, British Columbia. Option B, Ontario. Option C, Manitoba. Option D, Quebec. Correct answer, option C. Manitoba was the first province in Canada to grant voting rights to women, doing so in 1916 and leading the nation toward greater equality. Question 341. In what year did the federal government give most Canadian female citizens age 21 and over the right to vote? Option A, 1917. Option B, 1918. Option C, 1921. Option D, 1916. Correct answer, option B. In 1918, the federal government gave most Canadian female citizens aged 21 and over the right to vote, a major step forward for women's rights in Canada. Question 342. Who was the first woman member of Parliament in Canada? Option A, Agnes Macphail. Option B, Therese Casgrain. Option C, Nellie McClung. Option D, Emily Howard Stowe. Correct answer, option A. Agnes Macphail was the first woman member of Parliament in Canada, elected in 1921 as a trailblazer for women in Canadian politics. Question 343. Who was the first Canadian woman to practice medicine in Canada? Option A, Dr. Maud Abbott. Option B, Dr. Elizabeth Bagshaw. Option C, Dr. Emily Howard Stowe. Option D, Dr. Irma Levasseur. Correct answer, option C. Dr. Emily Howard Stowe was the first Canadian woman to practice medicine in Canada, breaking significant barriers in a profession that had excluded women. Question 344. Which battle is celebrated annually in Canada on April 9 as Vimy Day? Option A, the Battle of the Atlantic. Option B, the capture of Vimy Ridge in 1917. Option C, the capture of Partyburg in 1900. Option D, the Battle of Amiens in 1918. Correct answer, option B. Vimy Day is celebrated annually in Canada on April 9, commemorating the Canadian Corps' historic and celebrated capture of Vimy Ridge in 1917. Question 345. What did the Germans call the Battle of Amiens on August 8, 1918? Option A, the Black Day of the German Army. Option B, the Slaughter at the Rhine. Option C, the Day of Reckoning. Option D, the End of the Imperial Line. Correct answer, option A. The Germans called the Battle of Amiens on August 8, 1918, the Black Day of the German Army, recognizing the devastating effectiveness of the Canadian-led Allied assault. Question 346. Under whose command did the Canadian Corps fight during the last 100 days of the First World War? Option A, General Sir Arthur Currie. Option B, General Sir Sam Hughes. Option C, General Sir Julian Byng. Option D, Field Marshal Douglas Haig. Correct answer. Option A. The Canadian Corps fought under the command of General Sir Arthur Currie during the last 100 days of the First World War, achieving a series of decisive victories. Question 347. What was the name of the Canadian fighting force formed when Germany attacked in 1914? Option A, Canadian Army Service Corps. Option B, Canadian Expeditionary Force. Option C, Canadian Corps. Option D, Royal Canadian Regiment. Correct answer. Option B. The Canadian Expeditionary Force was the name of the Canadian fighting force formed when Germany attacked in 1914, ultimately sending hundreds of thousands of soldiers overseas. Question 348. How many Canadians were killed during the First World War? Option A, 170,000. Option B, 60,000. Option C, 8,000. Option D, 44,000. Correct answer. Option B. Approximately 60,000 Canadians were killed during the First World War, a staggering loss that deeply shaped the country's national consciousness. Question 349. How many Canadians were wounded during the First World War? Option A, 44,000. Option B, 170,000. Option C, 60,000. Option D, 10,000. Correct answer. Option B. Approximately 170,000 Canadians were wounded during the First World War, adding to the immense human toll of the conflict on Canadian families and communities. Question 350. On which beach did Canadian soldiers land during the D-Day invasion on June 6, 1944? Option A, Juno Beach. Option B, Omaha Beach. Option C, Sword Beach. Option D, Gold Beach. Correct answer. Option A. Canadian soldiers landed on Juno Beach during the D-Day invasion on June 6, 1944, playing a vital role in the liberation of Western Europe. Question 351. Approximately how many Canadian troops stormed Juno Beach on D-Day? Option A, 25,000. Option B, 10,000. Option C, 50,000. Option D, 15,000. Correct answer. Option D. Approximately 15,000 Canadian troops stormed Juno Beach on D-Day, making it one of the largest and most significant Canadian military operations in history. Question 352. Which country did the Canadian Army help liberate in 1944 and 1945? Option A, Belgium. Option B, France. Option C, Italy. Option D, the Netherlands. Correct answer. Option D. The Canadian Army helped liberate the Netherlands in 1944 and 1945, an act of courage still warmly remembered by the Dutch people today. Question 353. How many Canadians and Newfoundlanders served in the Second World War? Option A, over 750,000. Option B, over 1 million. Option C, over 500,000. Option D, over 2 million. Correct answer. Option B. Over 1 million Canadians and Newfoundlanders served in the Second World War, a remarkable contribution from a country of just over 11 million people at the time. Question 354. How many Canadians died in the Second World War? Option A, 44,000. Option B, 68,000. Option C, 60,000. Option D, 22,000. Correct answer, option A. Approximately 44,000 Canadians died in the Second World War, a profound sacrifice that is honored each year on Remembrance Day. Question 355. What was the unemployment rate in Canada at the height of the Great Depression? Option A, 40%. Option B, 20%. Option C, 27%. Option D, 33%. Correct answer, option C. At the height of the Great Depression, Canada's unemployment rate reached 27%, causing severe hardship for families across the country. Question 356. When was the Bank of Canada created? Option A, 1934. Option B, 1939. Option C, 1929. Option D, 1945. Correct answer, option A. The Bank of Canada was created in 1934 during the Great Depression, established to help manage the country's monetary policy and financial stability. Question 357. Which training plan saw over 130,000 Allied aircrew trained in Canada during the Second World War? Option A, the Royal Canadian Air Force Plan. Option B, the Commonwealth Air Defence Initiative. Option C, the British Commonwealth Air Training Plan. Option D, the Allied Air Training Program. Correct answer, option C. The British Commonwealth Air Training Plan trained over 130,000 Allied aircrew in Canada during the Second World War, making Canada a vital training ground for Allied forces. Question 358. In what year did Aboriginal people in Canada receive the right to vote in federal elections? Option A, 1960. Option B, 1948. Option C, 1927. Option D, 1963. Correct answer, option A. Aboriginal people in Canada received the right to vote in federal elections in 1960, after decades of exclusion from the democratic process. Question 359. What was the era of rapid change in Quebec during the 1960s known as? Option A, the Quiet Revolution. Option B, the Biculturalism movement. Option C, the Separation Crisis. Option D, the post-war flourishing. Correct answer, option A. The era of rapid change in Quebec during the 1960s is known as the Quiet Revolution, a transformative period that modernized the province's society, politics, and economy. Question 360. How many Hungarian refugees came to Canada after escaping Soviet tyranny in 1956? Option A, about 12,000. Option B, about 25,000. Option C, about 37,000. Option D, about 50,000. Correct answer, option C. About 37,000 Hungarian refugees came to Canada after escaping Soviet tyranny following the 1956 Hungarian Revolution, welcomed as part of Canada's humanitarian tradition. Question 361. Which international organization of French-speaking countries did Canada help found in 1970? Option A, the United Nations. Option B, NORAD. Option C, La Francophonie. Option D, NATO. Correct answer, Option C. Canada helped found La Francophonie in 1970, an international organization that promotes the French language and cultural cooperation among French-speaking nations. Question 362. What is the official summer sport of Canada? Option A, lacrosse. Option B, baseball. Option C, soccer. Option D, cricket. Correct answer. Option A. Lacrosse is the official summer sport of Canada, with deep roots in the traditions of Indigenous peoples who played the game long before European contact. Question 363. What is the official winter sport of Canada? Option A, ice hockey. Option B, curling. Option C, skiing. Option D, snowshoeing. Correct answer. Option A. Ice hockey is the official winter sport of Canada, a beloved game that has defined the country's culture and national identity for over a century. Question 364. How many Stanley Cup championships have the Montreal Canadiens won? Option A, 38. Option B, 24. Option C, 31. Option D, 20. Correct answer, Option B. The Montreal Canadiens have won 24 Stanley Cup championships, making them the most successful team in the history of professional hockey. Question 365. Which Governor-General donated the Stanley Cup for hockey in 1892? Option A, Lord Aberdeen. Option B, Adrian Clarkson. Option C, Lord Stanley. Option D, Duke of Connaught. Correct answer, Option C. Lord Stanley, the Governor-General of Canada, donated the Stanley Cup for hockey in 1892, creating what would become the most iconic trophy in professional sports. Question 366. What is the Clarkson Cup? Option A, the trophy awarded to the best Canadian university athlete. Option B, an award given annually by the Governor-General for community service. Option C, the championship trophy awarded in women's hockey. Option D, the prize for the top curling team in Canada. Correct answer, Option C. The Clarkson Cup is the championship trophy awarded in women's hockey, named after former Governor-General Adrian Clarkson. Question 367. For how long did the Canadian Red Ensign serve as Canada's flag before 1965? Option A, about 100 years. Option B, about 75 years. Option C, about 50 years. Option D, about 150 years. Correct answer, Option A. The Canadian Red Ensign served as Canada's flag for about 100 years before it was replaced by the current maple leaf flag in 1965. Question 368. Which province is the most easterly point in North America and has its own time zone? Option A, Newfoundland and Labrador. Option B, Prince Edward Island. Option C, Nova Scotia. Option D, Newfoundland and Labrador. Correct answer, Option D. Newfoundland and Labrador is the most easterly point in North America and has its own distinct time zone, reflecting its unique geographic position on the Atlantic coast. Question 369. Which provinces make up the Prairie Provinces? Option A, Ontario, Quebec, and Manitoba. Option B, Saskatchewan, Alberta, and British Columbia. Option C, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta. Option D, Alberta, British Columbia, and Yukon. Correct answer, Option C. The Prairie Provinces are Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta, a vast agricultural and resource-rich region at the heart of Canada. Question 370. What raid in 1942 resulted in heavy losses for Canadian soldiers? Option A, the Battle of Vimy Ridge. Option B, the liberation of the Netherlands. Option C, the Deep Raid. Option D, the D-Day invasion. Correct answer, option C. The Deep Raid in 1942 resulted in devastating losses for Canadian soldiers, with thousands killed, wounded, or taken prisoner in a matter of hours. Thank you so much for watching. We hope these questions helped you feel more confident and ready for your big day. If this video was useful, please like, share, and subscribe, and good luck on your citizenship test.